We're talking about something that happened between 12,800 and 11,600 years ago. There's no doubt, I don't think anybody could seriously dispute that the episode called the Younger Dryas was a global cataclysm on an enormous scale, and that it led to the extinction of the megafauna, all the megafauna of the Ice Age, all those iconic animals, the mammoths, the mastodons, the giant sloths, the woolly rhinos.
Imagine a world before our own, inhabited by advanced antediluvian civilizations that vanished beneath the waves of a cataclysmic flood. Did these pre-flood societies possess knowledge far beyond our current understanding? Were they perhaps genetically distinct beings, giants who walked the earth as ancient texts suggest? Today, as we stand before colossal megalithic structures, inexplicable with modern engineering knowledge, we must ask ourselves, what secrets did these early civilizations hold? Join us as we delve into the mysteries of these lost worlds, exploring the possibility that our ancestors were not just like us, but were part of a much grander and more mystifying past. When we hear antediluvian, we often think of a period steeped in myth and legend, predating the biblical flood described in Genesis. This term not only captures the essence of ancient pre-flood times, but also conjures images of lost civilizations shrouded in mystery and advanced beyond our comprehension. Among these, the story of Atlantis stands out as a captivating example, often linked with technological marvels that seem almost otherworldly today. The Atlantis connection is particularly intriguing. This fabled city, first described by Plato in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, is said to have been a powerhouse of technological sophistication with capabilities like flying machines and energy crystals. These Vimanas, as referred to in ancient Indian texts, hint at a technological kinship with Atlantis, whose advanced technology purportedly sank with the city into the ocean depths, leaving behind only the echoes of its existence in various global myths. Plato's Atlantis, a narrative crafted around 360 BC to discuss his ideals on statecraft and morality, was portrayed as an island nation beyond the Pillars of Hercules that met its doom overnight following a catastrophic disaster. Plato's account suggests that Atlantis was not just any civilization, but a dominant naval power that had conquered parts of Western Europe and Africa nearly 9,000 years before his own time, which places Atlantis firmly in the realm of the antediluvian. The city's opulence and technological advancements were extraordinary. Atlantis boasted grand palaces and temples constructed from a unique blend of red, white, and black stone, and featured sophisticated water management systems that would have been revolutionary at the time. This blend of wealth, resource management, and architectural ingenuity indicates a society that was far ahead of its contemporaries. Moreover, Atlantis's influence was not confined to its immediate geography. It established colonies and exerted cultural and political influence over distant regions, including Egypt and potentially even the Americas. This suggests a widespread dissemination of Atlantean knowledge in astronomy, mathematics, and engineering, evidenced by the architectural and technological similarities observed across these regions. This notion of a shared source of ancient knowledge is supported by similar flood stories and legends of advanced civilizations in cultures worldwide, from the Sumerian tales of Dilmun to the Hindu legends of Dvaraka. These stories, echoing the catastrophic end of mighty civilizations, could very well be distant memories of real events linked to a common advanced progenitor civilization like Atlantis. Archaeological theories and speculations continue to abound, with some pointing to the Rishat structure in Mauritania, also known as the Eye of the Sahara, as a possible location for Atlantis, given its distinct concentric rings and proximity to the Atlantic. Others believe the sudden demise of the advanced Minoan civilization due to volcanic activity might have inspired the Atlantis story, creating a bridge between legend and historical facts. The leap from discussing Atlantis's potential real-world connections brings us to some fascinating comparisons with known ancient civilizations, particularly ancient Egypt and the Minoan civilization of Crete. When we examine the purported technological capabilities of antediluvian civilizations and compare them with those of ancient Egypt, the contrast is quite revealing. Ancient Egypt, with its iconic pyramids, sophisticated irrigation systems, and complex hieroglyphics, indeed showcases a high level of technological achievement. Yet if we consider the lore surrounding antediluvian societies, these were groups said to have constructed even larger and more precise pyramids and structures. The precision with which the Egyptian pyramids were built, aligning perfectly with specific celestial bodies, could suggest that their knowledge might have been influenced or even inherited from these earlier, more advanced civilizations. Another intriguing comparison can be made between the story of Atlantis and the actual history of the Minoan civilization on Crete. Both civilizations are noted for their architectural and technological sophistication. The Minoans, for instance, constructed multi-story palaces at Knossos, complete with advanced plumbing systems and vibrant frescoes that speak to a highly sophisticated society for their time. In terms of catastrophic endings, both Atlantis and the Minoan civilization share tales of sudden destruction. Atlantis is said to have disappeared beneath the waves overnight, while the Minoans faced a rapid decline following the massive volcanic eruption on the nearby island of Thera, now known as Santorini. Additionally, the maritime capabilities of both civilizations are noteworthy. The Minoans were a dominant sea power in the Mediterranean, paralleling descriptions of Atlantis's control over the Atlantic with its formidable navy. These comparisons do more than highlight historical and archaeological parallels. They also suggest that the stories of Atlantis might have been influenced by real events that were then mythologized over the ages. The narrative of Atlantis, as crafted by Plato, may well have drawn from actual societal collapses like that of the Minoans, blending history with philosophical allegory to discuss broader human themes. Such cross-analysis not only enriches our understanding of these ancient civilizations, but also keeps alive the intrigue and speculation about how much truth might lie in the legends of lost worlds and sunken cities. The claim that these civilizations possessed technology and knowledge far beyond their time is not just a staple of ancient mythology, but a topic that continues to fascinate modern researchers. These prehistoric cultures are credited with technological feats that seem almost impossible by today's standards, particularly in areas like engineering, astronomy, and medicine. Take, for example, the engineering marvels attributed to these civilizations. They reportedly had the capability to lift and transport massive stones and align them with astronomical precision. Consider the Great Pyramid of Giza, whose perfect geometric alignments and precision in construction have led some to speculate that the knowledge to build such a structure might have been passed down from an antediluvian civilization. The ability to create such monumental structures, which have stood the test of time, speaks volumes about their engineering prowess. When it comes to astronomical knowledge, these civilizations are said to have been able to predict celestial events with remarkable accuracy. Structures like Stonehenge, with their sophisticated understanding of celestial patterns, serve as evidence of this advanced astronomical knowledge. It's theorized that many such megalithic structures were not just ceremonial spaces, but also served as astronomical observatories, providing these ancient people with insights into the cosmos that rival modern astronomical tools. The medical advancements of antediluvian civilizations are equally fascinating. There are tales of healers who could perform complex surgical procedures, effectively use medicinal plants, and perhaps even manipulate bioenergy. Such capabilities suggest a deep understanding of health and medicine that eluded later civilizations for centuries. The idea that these ancient healers had knowledge of practices and treatments that are only now being understood or rediscovered in modern medicine adds a layer of mystery and sophistication to their capabilities. Lastly, there's the intriguing concept of energy manipulation, where some theories suggest these ancient cultures had mastered forms of energy unknown to us today. This includes using sound waves to move heavy objects, a popular theory that attempts to explain how massive stone structures were constructed, or the harnessing of natural electromagnetic fields for various purposes. The potential that these civilizations had harnessed and used energy in ways that we can barely comprehend today not only adds to their mystique, but also poses questions about what other knowledge was lost in the sands of time. Delving into the myths and scriptures that discuss civilizations before a world-altering catastrophe, particularly the Great Flood, unveils a narrative filled with hints of advanced societies that existed before recorded history. Take, for instance, the Sumerian King List, an ancient manuscript that records the reigns of several kings spanning tens of thousands of years, culminating in the Flood, a pivotal event that reshaped their world. This document hints that these were no ordinary monarchs but beings with extraordinarily long lifespans and capabilities, suggesting that they hailed from civilizations with advanced knowledge and skills. Similarly, ancient Indian scriptures like the Vedas and the Puranas recount tales of prehistoric kingdoms where rulers commanded not just the loyalty of their subjects, but also wielded technologies that seem futuristic even today. They describe vimanas, or flying machines, and advanced weaponry that imply a high level of technological advancement. The Mahabharata tells the story of Manu, who survives a catastrophic flood, paralleling the biblical Noah and his ark, which further underscores the universal theme of cataclysmic floods across various cultures. These flood myths are pervasive, featuring prominently in cultures worldwide. From Utnapishtim in the Epic of Gilgamesh to Nuu in Hawaiian mythology and Deucalion in Greek mythology, these tales often center on a few survivors, forewarned and spared from the disaster that obliterates almost all life. This narrative of destruction and rebirth is a common thread linking diverse cultures and geographies, suggesting a shared human memory of a distant past where civilizations fell to great calamities. Moreover, many of these ancient narratives also talk about giants or beings with lifespans much longer than typical humans, possessing incredible strength and wisdom. These descriptions can be found from the biblical Nephilim to the Norse Jotun and the Greek Titans, often depicted as rulers or warriors with godlike attributes. This has led to fascinating theories, including the possibility that antediluvian civilizations might have had knowledge of genetic manipulation, enhancing their physical and intellectual capacities to levels far beyond what we can imagine. As we thread together these narratives and archaeological evidence, the stories of these ancient, advanced societies not only enrich our understanding of human history, but also continue to captivate our imagination with their mystery and the possibility of lost knowledge waiting to be rediscovered.
Some 13,000 years ago, a group of people from Asia walked across a land bridge that connected Siberia to Alaska and headed south. It was long held that there was only one founding population and that their route was up through Siberia. The first settlers made it to the Americas.
Deep in the remote forests of Siberia lie the Gornaya Shoria megaliths, colossal granite blocks so vast and precisely aligned that they dwarf even the great stones of the Egyptian pyramids.
But remember that the ancient Egyptians tell us in many of their texts that everything they knew was a legacy.
With some weighing in at an astounding 3,000 to 4,000 tons, these structures pose a tantalizing question. If our modern machinery would struggle to maneuver such massive stones today, how could ancient humans have possibly constructed them?
Let's consider what we mean by advanced. What is an advanced civilization? Are we really an advanced civilization?
This mystery invites us to explore not only the breathtaking scale of these megaliths, but also the advanced yet unknown technologies that might have been used in an era long past.
That is one of the mistakes in looking for a quote-unquote advanced civilization in the past, is that we tend to be looking for ourselves.
The Gornaya Shoria megaliths, sometimes referred to as the Shoria megaliths, are a series of massive and mysterious stone structures located in the southern Siberian region of Kemerovo province. This part of Siberia, known for its rugged and forested landscape, forms a continuation of the mountainous belt that includes the famous Altai Mountains, stretching into Kazakhstan, Mongolia, and China. The harsh Siberian climate, marked by severe winters and brief summers, coupled with the mountainous and densely forested terrain, makes archaeological expeditions to this area particularly challenging.
The huge areas of the Earth where only minimal archaeological investigations have ever been carried out. I get it, it's a very tough place to work, and besides, archaeology has the view that there's not much to find there.
The megaliths didn't attract significant academic attention until the 21st century, despite earlier mentions by local historians and enthusiasts during the Soviet era. The shift in interest came largely due to the increased availability of information online and the efforts of local explorers like John Jensen and Dr. Valery Uvarov.
I recognize some patterns that appear to be man-made or at least non-natural.
Their publications and photographs, which highlighted the scale and precision of the megaliths, spurred wider interest and debate. Although the area remains underexplored in formal archaeological terms, the physical attributes of the Gornaya Shoria megaliths are particularly striking. dwarfing even the largest stones used in the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, which weigh around 80 tons. The precision with which these stones are cut and aligned, exhibiting flat surfaces, sharp angles, and tightly fitting joints without mortar, suggests an advanced level of engineering skill. This craftsmanship is reminiscent of the famous Inca walls in Cusco, Peru, where similarly interlocking stones have withstood centuries of seismic activity. A comparison is often drawn with the walls of Sacsayhuaman in Cusco, Peru, another site known for its high-precision stonework.
Incredible megaliths there, which archaeology gives entirely to the Incas, even though the Incas themselves recognized and honored the work of predecessors.
Both the Gonaya Shoria and Sacsayhuaman sites display an extraordinary level of stonework that challenges our understanding of ancient engineering capabilities. However, the sheer size of the stones at Gonaya Shoria makes the site even more perplexing, raising intriguing questions about the logistics of stone transport and manipulation by ancient builders. The Gonaya Shoria megaliths have captured the imagination of many, but they also offer a fascinating case study for geologists who propose that these giant formations could be entirely natural. Various geological processes, particularly those involving glaciers and tectonic activities, might explain their formation without needing to invoke theories of human or extraterrestrial involvement. During the last ice age, massive glaciers moved across landscapes, carrying large boulders known as erratics far from their original quarries. As these glaciers retreated, they left behind these huge stones. Additionally, as the ice moved, it could polish and create striated marks on the surfaces of these rocks, contributing to the smooth and flat appearances that some of the Shoria megaliths exhibit. This is not uncommon in other parts of the world where glacial activities have shaped the terrain. Beyond glaciation, the processes of weathering play a significant role. Chemical weathering, where the rock interacts with the environment, can dissolve weaker materials in the stone, leaving behind angular blocks that might appear artificially carved. Meanwhile, the freeze-thaw cycles typical of Siberia's harsh climate cause the rocks to crack and break naturally along lines of weakness, forming the angular structures observed today. The region's intense seismic activity also contributes to the megalith's mysterious shapes. The area is prone to movements in the earth that can fracture bedrock, creating sharp, angular formations that mimic the appearance of quarried stone. These natural fractures, caused by faulting and the pressure of tectonic forces, suggest a plausible explanation for the megalith's geometric precision. As tectonic forces lift and fold rock layers, pressure release can also occur, leading to a process known as exfoliation. This causes the rock to break off in sheets or segments, forming large, flat slabs that might look like the work of human hands. An interesting parallel can be drawn with California's Devil's Postpile National Monument, known for its symmetrical, hexagonal columns of basalt formed by the slow cooling of a lava flow and subsequent contraction cracking. This site exemplifies how complex and regular structures can form through natural geological processes, demonstrating that the precise and orderly structures we see at Gonaya Shoria could also be the product of dynamic earth processes. Not only have the Gonaya Shoria megaliths captured the interests of geologists, but also ignited a flurry of archaeological theories. Some researchers propose that these vast stone structures are the product of an advanced yet unknown ancient civilization. This theory is supported by the megalith's precise cuts and alignments, which imply the use of sophisticated stoneworking technologies that surpass those known from other ancient cultures of the same era.
Are we looking at the traces of a forgotten episode in human history? I think so. I think that's what's going on here.
These observations lead some to speculate about possible cultural and technological exchanges between distant civilizations, suggesting that the builders of the Gonaya Shoria megaliths could have been part of a widespread network. This network might have facilitated the spread of architectural and engineering skills across vast distances, much like how architectural styles were shared along the Silk Road. In addition to these mainstream archaeological views, there are several alternative theories that touch on more unconventional narratives. One such theory suggests that extraterrestrial beings could have influenced the creation of the megaliths. Proponents of this idea argue that the scale and precision of the stonework exceed what would have been technologically feasible for humans at the time, drawing parallels to other mysterious ancient sites like the Nazca lines in Peru. which feature designs that are best viewed from the air. Another intriguing hypothesis posits that these megaliths were the work of a now-lost civilization that had access to advanced technologies for manipulating stone, construction, and possibly even geolocation. Technologies that were superior to those of known ancient cultures and which could have been lost following a cataclysmic event like a massive flood or volcanic eruption, reminiscent of the legendary Atlantis. A comparison with the Baalbek temple complex in Lebanon, particularly the Trilithon, offers further context. The Trilithon features 3 massive stones, each weighing between 800 to 1,000 tons, meticulously placed upon rows of smaller blocks.
This is called the Trilithon. Each of these 3 blocks weighs 900 tons.
The similarities in scale and construction techniques between Baalbek and Gornaya Shoria raise additional questions about the ancient capabilities in quarrying, transporting, and assembling such enormous stones. Just as the precise alignment of the blocks at Gornaya Shoria suggests advanced engineering skills, the Baalbek stones are also fitted with such precision that not even a piece of paper can slide between them. This remarkable precision across both sites suggests a sophisticated understanding of stonework that challenges our perceptions of ancient engineering. The Gornaya Shoria megaliths pose significant challenges for researchers and archaeologists attempting to uncover their secrets. The region is famously difficult to access, characterized by dense forests and mountainous landscapes that are tough to navigate. The climate further complicates research efforts, with harsh winters that bring heavy snowfall and freezing temperatures, limiting fieldwork to the brief Siberian summer months. The nearby settlements offer limited resources, making it challenging to support sustained scientific activities. Accommodations, roads, and communication facilities are all less developed, which is essential for conducting large-scale archaeological excavations. This lack of local support, combined with a general prioritization of resources towards more well-known sites, means that Gornaya Shoria often remains overlooked in broader archaeological explorations.
Before the deluge, before the waters rose and reshaped the world, a time of giants walked the earth. A time whispered about in ancient texts, a time shrouded in myth and mystery, the Great Flood. Was it a literal event, a global catastrophe, or a metaphor, a symbolic cleansing? Whatever the truth, the fossil record reveals a world far stranger than we imagined. A world where colossal beasts shared the land with our earliest ancestors.
Mammuthus primigenius. Perhaps the most iconic of all Ice Age giants, the woolly mammoth was a true behemoth, perfectly adapted to the frigid conditions of the Mammoth Steppe, a vast grassland that stretched across northern Eurasia and North America. These majestic creatures were not merely animals to our ancestors. They were sources of sustenance, materials for survival, and objects of spiritual significance. Imagine an elephant draped in a thick, shaggy coat of fur with long, curved tusks and smaller ears than its modern relatives. This was the woolly mammoth, a creature built to withstand the icy plains. Males could reach a shoulder height of over 9 feet and weigh up to 6 tons, while females were slightly smaller. Their thick fur, up to 35 inches long, provided insulation against the cold, and a layer of subcutaneous fat further helped to conserve heat. Woolly mammoths were herbivores, primarily grazing on grasses and sedges. They roamed the Mammoth Steppe, a vast grassland that stretched across northern Eurasia and North America. This habitat provided an abundance of vegetation to sustain their massive bodies. Early humans hunted woolly mammoths for food and utilized their bones and tusks for creating tools, weapons, and dwellings. Evidence of this interaction can be found in cave paintings and engravings on mammoth tusks. It is believed that the woolly mammoth disappeared either because of climate change, which led to a shrinkage of its habitat, or because humans hunted it to extinction, or as a result of both. In some cultures, mammoth remains were interpreted as the bones of giants or mythical creatures. These legends often attributed supernatural powers to the mammoth, reflecting the awe and wonder these creatures inspired. Megalania, Varanus pariscus. Venture into the prehistoric landscapes of Australia, and you might have encountered Megalania, a colossal monitor lizard that dwarfed even the Komodo dragon. This apex predator ruled the Pleistocene epoch, striking fear into the hearts of its prey. Megalania was a giant goanna, reaching an estimated length of up to 23 feet and weighing over a ton. Its powerful limbs, sharp claws, and serrated teeth made it a formidable hunter. This fearsome predator inhabited open forests, woodlands, and grasslands of eastern Australia. Its diet likely consisted of large mammals, snakes, other reptiles, and birds. Like its relative, the Komodo dragon, Megalania may have been an ambush predator scavenger whose toxic saliva would have caused infection and death to its victims. Megalania coexisted with the ancestors of Aboriginal Australians. While direct evidence of their interactions is limited, it's plausible that early humans encountered this giant lizard, potentially inspiring legends and myths. Some researchers suggest that Megalania may be the inspiration behind Aboriginal legends of the Wowie, a mythical monster resembling a giant goanna. These stories depict a fearsome creature that could devour an entire tribe in a single meal. Short-faced bear, Arctodosimus. Imagine a bear that stood over 12 feet tall on its hind legs, with a massive build and powerful limbs. This was the short-faced bear, one of the largest land mammals to ever exist. The short-faced bear was characterized by its short snout, long legs, and massive size. It was significantly larger than any modern bear species, with some individuals weighing over 2,000 pounds. This bear was highly adaptable, inhabiting a variety of environments, including grasslands, woodlands, and even tropical thorn shrub. It probably scavenged and preyed upon large herbivores, such as bison, muskoxen, deer, caribou, horses, and ground sloths. The short-faced bear was a highly adaptable species that survived and thrived in a wide and diverse range of habitats. Even as habitats and climates shifted during the Pleistocene, the bears continued to occupy the same ecological niches. Short-faced bears coexisted with early humans in North America. Some researchers suggest that these bears may have posed a significant threat to early human populations, potentially delaying their migration into North America. The abundance of the giant short-faced bear in the Bering Land Bridge area could have been a factor in this delayed migration. While specific legends about the short-faced bear are not widely known, its imposing size and predatory nature likely inspired fear and caution among early humans. Gigantopithecus blacki gigantopithecus, the largest known primate, inhabited Pleistocene Southeast Asian forests, reaching over 10 feet tall and weighing over 1,000 pounds. This herbivore, likely consuming leaves, fruits, and bamboo, lived in subtropical to tropical forests. Its exact appearance is debated, with some suggesting a resemblance to a giant orangutan and others to a gorilla. While direct interaction with early humans is uncertain, their coexistence sparks speculation. Some believe Gigantopithecus may have inspired Yeti or Bigfoot legends. Smilodon fatalis, the iconic saber-toothed cat of the Ice Age, possessed impressive 11-inch fangs and a powerful build, roughly the size of a modern lion but more robust. It roamed the Americas, preying on large herbivores like bison and ground sloths, favoring closed habitats for ambush hunting. Evidence suggests social behavior, including cooperative hunting, which likely aided in taking down large prey. Smilodon coexisted with early humans, and while direct interaction is limited, its formidable presence likely influenced early human stories and perceptions. Cave hyena, Crocuta crocuta spelaea. During the Ice Age, the cave hyena dominated European landscapes. This robust predator, a close relative of the spotted hyena, was significantly larger and more powerful. It thrived in both caves and open areas, hunting large mammals like bison and rhinoceros. Importantly, cave hyenas coexisted with early humans and Neanderthals, leading to competition for resources and potential predation. Their presence is also reflected in Paleolithic rock art, indicating their cultural significance. Columbian mammoth, Mammuthus columbi. The Columbian mammoth, a large relative of the woolly mammoth, thrived in warmer North American regions during the Pleistocene. Reaching 14 feet tall and 10 tons, it had long tusks and a less dense coat. A grazer of grasslands and savannas, early humans both feared and revered the massive creature that coexisted with them. They hunted it for food and utilized its remains for other purposes. Giant ground sloth, Megatherium americanum. The giant ground sloth, an elephant-sized herbivore, roamed Pleistocene Americas, reaching 20 feet long. It possessed large claws, likely used for feeding and defense, and consumed leaves and twigs in various habitats. Due to its enormous size, It may have been hunted by early humans and inspired legends. Dire wolf, Enosion dirus. Imagine a wolf, not just larger but more powerful, a true apex predator. This was the dire wolf, roaming North and South America during the Ice Age. Its robust physique and powerful jaws made it a hunter of formidable herbivores, but it also shared its world with early humans. What were those encounters like? Did they compete for prey? Did they avoid each other, or did they meet in conflict? While the details remain elusive, the dire wolf's predatory nature surely left a lasting impression, inspiring a mix of fear and awe. American lion, Panthera atrox. The American lion, one of the largest cats ever, prowled Pleistocene North America, rivaling the saber-toothed cat in size. Similar to modern lions but larger, it hunted large herbivores like bison and camels in grasslands and savannas. Coexisting with early humans, its imposing size and predatory nature likely inspired fear and respect.
The ocean's depths have always held a powerful allure, concealing secrets and sparking our imaginations with the possibility of lost worlds. Among the most intriguing underwater mysteries are the Bimini Road in the Bahamas and the Yonaguni Monument off the coast of Japan. These submerged structures have ignited fierce debate, forcing us to confront a fundamental question. Are they evidence of advanced pre-flood civilizations that predate our current understanding of human history, or are they simply remarkable products of geological processes? The implications of their origins are profound, potentially rewriting the timeline of human civilization and challenging the archaeological dogma that has, until recently, limited exploration of the deep past. The quoted claim that these findings raise a big question mark over our entire notion of the prehistory of the world is not hyperbole, given the potential for a 130,000-year human prehistory compared to the relatively short 13,000 years currently documented.
Discovered in 1968 by Dr. J. Manson Valentine, a marine biologist and archaeologist, the Bimini Road presents a striking visual puzzle. Located near North Bimini Island in the Bahamas, it consists of a series of rectangular limestone blocks arranged in a linear fashion, extending for approximately 800 meters beneath the clear turquoise waters. The blocks, some as large as 4 meters in length, 3 meters in width, and 1 mm in thickness, appear deliberately placed, resembling a road, wall, or perhaps even a breakwater. The immediate association for many was with the legendary lost city of Atlantis. This connection was significantly amplified by the prior predictions of Edgar Cayce, a renowned American psychic. In the 1930s and 40s, Cayce, often referred to as the Sleeping Prophet, made numerous pronouncements about Atlantis, claiming it was a highly advanced civilization destroyed by a cataclysmic flood. Crucially, he predicted that remnants of Atlantis would be discovered near Bimini in the late 1960s, a prediction that seemed remarkably fulfilled by Valentine's discovery. The myth of Atlantis itself has a long and influential history. Its origins lie in the writings of the Greek philosopher Plato, specifically his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 BC. In these dialogues, Plato describes Atlantis as a powerful island nation located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, generally interpreted as the Strait of Gibraltar. He portrays Atlantis as a technologically advanced and militarily powerful civilization that ultimately fell out of favor with the gods and was swallowed by the sea in a single day and night of earthquakes and floods. While most scholars believe Plato intended Atlantis as an allegory, a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris and imperial overreach, the story has resonated deeply through the centuries. It has inspired countless explorers, writers, and researchers, fueling a persistent belief in the existence of a lost, advanced civilization. Early investigations of the Bimini Road, such as those conducted by British researcher Harold Wilkins and underwater photography pioneer Dr. Dmitry Rebekov in the early 1970s, seemed to support the Atlantis theory. They reported finding additional stone structures and artifacts in the vicinity, further fueling speculation. Modern surveys employing sonar mapping and underwater excavation have provided more detailed information about the formation's dimensions and composition, but have not definitively resolved the central question of its origin. The prevailing scientific explanation, however, favors a natural origin. Geologists point to the process of beach rock formation. Beach rock is a type of limestone that forms in the intertidal zone, where sand and shell fragments are cemented together by calcium carbonate precipitated from seawater. As sea levels fluctuate, this beach rock can be exposed and subsequently submerged. The rectangular shape of the Bimini road blocks is attributed to the natural fracturing and erosion of this beach rock. Limestone is prone to developing regular joint patterns, essentially cracks, along planes of weakness. Wave action, tidal currents, and the chemical dissolution of the limestone can then widen these cracks, eventually separating the rock into rectangular blocks. This geological explanation aligns with the broader understanding of the Bahamas' geological history. The islands are part of a large carbonate platform that has been shaped by fluctuating sea levels throughout the Pleistocene epoch, 2.6 million to 11,700 years ago, and the Holocene epoch, the last 11,700 years. During glacial periods, sea levels were significantly lower, exposing vast areas of the platform. As glaciers melted, sea levels rose, submerging previously exposed land. This cycle of exposure and submersion, combined with the natural processes of erosion and sedimentation, can account for many of the features observed at the Bimini Road. Across the Pacific Ocean, off the southern coast of Yonaguni Island, part of Japan's Ryukyu archipelago, lies another underwater structure that has captivated researchers and fueled debate: the Yonaguni Monument. Discovered in 1986 by local diver Kiichiro Aratake, this massive formation is composed of fine-grained sandstone and mudstone, common sedimentary rocks in the region. What makes it extraordinary is its appearance. It resembles a stepped pyramid, or a complex of terraces and platforms, featuring remarkably straight edges, flat surfaces, and right-angled corners. The monument's dimensions are substantial, approximately 150 meters long, 40 meters wide, and 27 meters high. It consists of multiple layers or steps, with some areas featuring what appear to be staircases connecting large flat terraces. Other features include depressions and channels that resemble basins or pools, and upright stone pillars and walls with sharp angles. Dr. Masaki Kimura, a marine geologist from the University of the Ryukyus, has been the most prominent advocate for the theory that the Yonaguni Monument is a human-made structure. Over years of research, his team has meticulously documented the monument's features, arguing that the precision of the angles, the regularity of the shapes, and the presence of seemingly functional elements, like the staircases and basins, are highly unlikely to have been formed solely by natural processes. Kimura proposes that the monument was part of a city or complex built more than 10,000 years ago, during a period when sea levels were significantly lower. He suggests that it was submerged by rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age, or possibly by a catastrophic tectonic event. This timeline presents a significant challenge to established archaeological understanding of the Ryukyu Islands. While the islands have a long history of human habitation, with evidence of human presence dating back over 30,000 years to the Paleolithic period, the earliest known complex societies in the region are much more recent. The Gusuku period, characterized by the construction of stone castles, Gusuku, and the development of a distinct Ryukyuan culture, flourished between the 12th and 15th centuries AD. There is no currently accepted archaeological evidence of a civilization capable of constructing a structure like the Yonaguni Monument during the proposed timeframe of 10,000 years ago. This timeline presents a significant challenge to established archaeological understanding of the Ryukyu Islands. While the islands have a long history of human habitation, with evidence of human presence dating back over 30,000 years to the Paleolithic period, the earliest known complex societies in the region are much more recent. The Gusuku period, characterized by the construction of stone castles, Gusuku, and the development of a distinct Ryukyuan culture, flourished between the 12th and 15th centuries AD. There is no currently accepted archaeological evidence of a civilization capable of constructing a structure like the Yonaguni Monument during the proposed timeframe of 10,000 years ago. Geologists suggest that the combination of natural jointing, tectonic activity, and erosion over thousands of years could have produced the seemingly artificial features of the Yonaguni Monument. They point to similar, albeit smaller scale, naturally occurring formations found elsewhere in the world as evidence that such geological processes can create remarkably geometric shapes. Both the Bimini Road and the Yonaguni Monument remain subjects of intense debate and ongoing research. While the scientific consensus leans towards natural geological explanations, the visual impact of these structures and the tantalizing possibility of lost civilizations continue to fuel alternative theories. Definitive proof, in the form of irrefutable artifacts or clear evidence of human modification, would be needed to overturn the prevailing scientific view. These underwater mysteries serve as a powerful reminder of the vastness of our oceans and the limitations of our current knowledge. They highlight the importance of continued exploration and open-minded scientific inquiry. The possibility, however remote, that these sites represent a radically different understanding of human history, a prehistory extending far beyond our current understanding, keeps the questions alive and underscores the enduring human fascination with our origins and the potential for groundbreaking discoveries that could rewrite the story of our past. The continued study of these sites, employing advanced technologies and interdisciplinary approaches, may yet reveal secrets that have been hidden beneath the waves for millennia.
As society got more advanced in this time, it seems we have less and less dependence on astronomy. Why would astronomy play as big of a role in them where everything is pointing to X, Y, and Z stars?
Well, first of all, let's consider what we mean by advanced. What is an advanced civilization? Are we really an advanced civilization? That is one of the mistakes in looking for a quote-unquote advanced civilization in the past, is that we tend to be looking for ourselves.
Nestled in the verdant landscape of County Meath, Ireland, Newgrange stands as one of Europe's most enigmatic prehistoric monuments. This ancient passage tomb, part of the larger Brú-na-Bóin complex, is renowned for its precise alignment with the winter solstice sunrise.
On the summer solstice, you're going to see the sun rising far to the north of east. Go there on the winter solstice, you're going to see it far to the south of east.
Constructed over 5,000 years ago, Newgrange has captivated scholars and visitors with its mysterious origins, intricate megalithic art, and its dual role as a ceremonial site and burial place. Its discovery and study have peeled back the layers of Neolithic society, revealing their engineering prowess and deep spiritual and astronomical understandings.
And that's why we get the astrological ages. Again, mainstream science sneers at these things.
Interestingly, while Newgrange was known to the local population of the Boyne Valley, it didn't capture the attention of scholars and historians until much later.
To think that somebody was here 5,000 years ago, I think it must be as close to immortality as you could hope to get to.
The journey of rediscovering Newgrange began before the scholarly world took an interest, when it was merely part of the local folklore and agricultural landscape. It wasn't until the late 17th century that it started to draw scholarly eyes, notably through the works of Sir William Wilde in the 19th century. Wilde, better known as the father of playwright Oscar Wilde, was an accomplished antiquarian who documented various archaeological sites across Ireland. His works laid the groundwork for future explorations, though the most pivotal moment for Newgrange came in 1699 during an everyday activity: road construction.
A lot of archaeology that gets done doesn't get done because of a targeted search. It may be because a dam is being built or a new highway is being built.
The landowner, Charles Campbell, needing stones for building a road, directed his workers to the large mound on his property. As they dug into the mound, they unexpectedly broke through to a main passageway, unveiling the entrance to what they would soon realize was an ancient passage tomb. This accidental breakthrough led the workers to explore the inner chambers and passageways, where they discovered human bones and possible grave goods, suggesting that the site was used as a burial ground. These initial, albeit informal excavations began to reveal the megalithic art and the structural complexity that Newgrange housed.
I can't help thinking time capsule, that there was an intention to preserve this.
Recognizing the potential importance of the site, Campbell made initial records of the discoveries. However, these records were quite rudimentary and didn't capture the full archaeological value of the site. As word spread, Newgrange began attracting visitors and curiosity seekers by the early 18th century, turning it into an early form of a tourist attraction. These early tourists left behind accounts that provide a valuable perspective on the site's condition and the public perception over the centuries. The rekindled interest in Newgrange had a significant impact on the study of Neolithic Ireland, leading to more systematic studies and eventually to the extensive excavations carried out by Michael J. O'Kelly in the 20th century.
First of all, Professor, how did this great big stone and so many of them get up here?
Many of these big stones were lying about on the land surface since the end of the Ice Age.
An interesting comparison can be drawn between the rediscovery of Newgrange and the uncovering of Pompeii in 1748, where workers constructing a palace for the King of Naples accidentally stumbled upon the remains of the city, buried since 79 AD by volcanic ash from Mount Vesuvius. Both discoveries, made during routine construction, opened windows into ancient civilizations, offering unprecedented insights into their daily lives, spiritual beliefs, and practices. However, while Pompeii provides a snapshot frozen in time, Newgrange offers a glimpse into a far older, less understood epoch spanning several millennia, bridging our modern world with the deep past of ancient societies. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of Newgrange, it's clear that this ancient site holds more than just historical significance. It serves as a testament to the evolutionary journey of archaeological interpretation itself. Beginning in the 19th century, Newgrange started to capture the scientific imagination thanks to its enigmatic allure and the intricate carvings adorning its stones. Early archaeologists and antiquarians meticulously documented the site, establishing a detailed record of its dimensions, carvings, and overall structure. These foundational studies were pivotal in beginning to understand the complex nature of this prehistoric monument. Initially classified as a passage tomb in the early 20th century, a typical Neolithic structure characterized by a circular mound with a long, narrow passage leading to a central chamber, Newgrange aligned well with other similar European structures based on its architectural features and the human remains discovered within. However, modern interpretations have suggested a broader role for Newgrange, hinting at its function as a ceremonial or ritual site due to its elaborate construction, astronomical alignments, and extensive use of symbolic artwork. This suggests that Newgrange might have served multiple communal purposes throughout the centuries, far beyond its initial categorization as merely a burial place. The mid-20th century brought about a transformation in our understanding of Newgrange, spearheaded by Professor Michael J. O'Kelly's groundbreaking excavations from 1962 to 1975.
We have a quite new and intriguing problem to solve. Perhaps next year, when we can excavate farther into the mound.
His extensive and scientifically rigorous work systematically revealed the structural integrity and design of the site, showing how the Neolithic builders expertly constructed the mound and its internal passages. Among his most notable discoveries was the winter solstice illumination, a phenomenon where the sunrise on the shortest day of the year illuminates the main passage and chamber through a specially designed roof box. This discovery confirmed that Newgrange was precisely aligned with astronomical events, indicating a sophisticated understanding of solar movements by its builders. However, O'Kelly's restoration efforts, particularly the reconstruction of the white quartz facade, stirred both acclaim and controversy. While these efforts aimed to protect and stabilize the structure, some critics argued that they might not truly reflect the site's original appearance. Despite these debates, O'Kelly's work has been crucial in preserving Newgrange for future generations and maintaining its status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. An interesting theory that has emerged about Newgrange is its potential role in shamanic practices.
That advanced civilization emerged out of shamanism itself.
Some scholars suggest that the intricate carvings inside the tomb, especially the spirals and other geometric motifs, could represent shamanic visions or cosmological maps.
Shamans are very observant of the cosmos and of what is going on in the cosmos.
According to this theory, Newgrange might have served as a sacred space where shamans entered trance states, with the winter solstice light acting as a catalyst for celestial journeys or communication with the ancestral spirits. The site features a unique architectural element known as the roof box, ingeniously designed to allow sunlight to penetrate the passage at sunrise on the shortest day of the year. This small aperture is strategically positioned to catch the first rays of the sun as it rises, illuminating the inner chamber in a breathtaking display of ancient precision. The significance of this event extends beyond its architectural marvel. It lasts approximately 17 minutes and is believed to have held profound ceremonial importance for the Neolithic community. Scholars suggest that this phenomenon might have symbolized the rebirth of the sun, heralding a new year and promising renewal for the community. It likely served as a moment of social and religious reawakening, reinforcing the community's connection with the cosmos and marking a time of celebration and reverence. Today, the allure of Newgrange during the winter solstice continues to draw crowds from around the globe. A lottery system is now in place to manage the number of visitors who wish to experience the solstice from inside the chamber, highlighting the enduring spiritual significance of this ancient observance. The experience offers a unique glimpse into the past, allowing modern visitors to connect with the astronomical achievements of an ancient civilization. Notably, human bones found within the chambers suggest that Newgrange was used as a burial site, though not uniformly across all chambers. This selective usage adds to the mystery of Newgrange, indicating it may have served multiple functions, possibly as a final resting place for important members of the community. Drawing a parallel with another marvel of ancient engineering, the Egyptian pyramids, particularly the Great Pyramid of Giza, we see a similar integration of astronomical knowledge into architectural design. Like Newgrange, the Great Pyramid is precisely aligned with celestial events, thought to have been oriented with the pole star of the time, Polaris. This alignment not only underscores their function as tombs or temples, but also as calendars or astronomical observatories, embedding the movements of the sun, moon, and stars into their structures. Both Newgrange and the Great Pyramid stand as testaments to the advanced astronomical understanding of their builders, bridging the earthly and the divine in their monumental designs.
The ocean's depths have always held a powerful allure, concealing secrets and sparking our imaginations with the possibility of lost worlds. Among the most intriguing underwater mysteries are the Bimini Road in the Bahamas and the Yonaguni Monument off the coast of Japan. These submerged structures have ignited fierce debate, forcing us to confront a fundamental question. Are they evidence of advanced pre-flood civilizations that predate our current understanding of human history, or are they simply remarkable products of geological processes? The implications of their origins are profound, potentially rewriting the timeline of human civilization and challenging the archaeological dogma that has, until recently, limited exploration of the deep past. The quoted claim that these findings raise a big question mark over our entire notion of the prehistory of the world is not hyperbole, given the potential for a 130,000-year human prehistory compared to the relatively short 13,000 years currently documented.
Discovered in 1968 by Dr. J. Manson Valentine, a marine biologist and archaeologist, the Bimini Road presents a striking visual puzzle. Located near North Bimini Island in the Bahamas, it consists of a series of rectangular limestone blocks arranged in a linear fashion, extending for approximately 800 meters beneath the clear turquoise waters. The blocks, some as large as 4 meters in length, 3 meters in width, and 1 mm in thickness, appear deliberately placed, resembling a road, wall, or perhaps even a breakwater. The immediate association for many was with the legendary lost city of Atlantis. This connection was significantly amplified by the prior predictions of Edgar Cayce, a renowned American psychic. In the 1930s and 40s, Cayce, often referred to as the Sleeping Prophet, made numerous pronouncements about Atlantis, claiming it was a highly advanced civilization destroyed by a cataclysmic flood. Crucially, he predicted that remnants of Atlantis would be discovered near Bimini in the late 1960s, a prediction that seemed remarkably fulfilled by Valentine's discovery. The myth of Atlantis itself has a long and influential history. Its origins lie in the writings of the Greek philosopher Plato, specifically his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 BC. In these dialogues, Plato describes Atlantis as a powerful island nation located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, generally interpreted as the Strait of Gibraltar. He portrays Atlantis as a technologically advanced and militarily powerful civilization that ultimately fell out of favor with the gods and was swallowed by the sea in a single day and night of earthquakes and floods. While most scholars believe Plato intended Atlantis as an allegory, a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris and imperial overreach, the story has resonated deeply through the centuries. It has inspired countless explorers, writers, and researchers, fueling a persistent belief in the existence of a lost, advanced civilization. Early investigations of the Bimini Road, such as those conducted by British researcher Harold Wilkins and underwater photography pioneer Dr. Dmitry Rebekov in the early 1970s, seem to support the Atlantis theory. They reported finding additional stone structures and artifacts in the vicinity, further fueling speculation. Modern surveys employing sonar mapping and underwater excavation have provided more detailed information about the formation's dimensions and composition, but have not definitively resolved the central question of its origin. The prevailing scientific explanation, however, favors a natural origin. Geologists point to the process of beach rock formation. Beach rock is a type of limestone that forms in the intertidal zone, where sand and shell fragments are cemented together by calcium carbonate precipitated from seawater. As sea levels fluctuate, this beach rock can be exposed and subsequently submerged. The rectangular shape of the Bimini road blocks is attributed to the natural fracturing and erosion of this beach rock. Limestone is prone to developing regular joint patterns, essentially cracks, along planes of weakness. Wave action, tidal currents, and the chemical dissolution of the limestone can then widen these cracks, eventually separating the rock into rectangular blocks. This geological explanation aligns with the broader understanding of the Bahamas' geological history. The islands are part of a large carbonate platform that has been shaped by fluctuating sea levels throughout the Pleistocene epoch, 2.6 million to 11,700 years ago, and the Holocene epoch, the last 11,700 years. During glacial periods, sea levels were significantly lower, exposing vast areas of the platform. As glaciers melted, sea levels rose, submerging previously exposed land. This cycle of exposure and submersion, combined with the natural processes of erosion and sedimentation, can account for many of the features observed at the Bimini Road. Across the Pacific Ocean, off the southern coast of Yonaguni Island, part of Japan's Ryukyu archipelago, lies another underwater structure that has captivated researchers and fueled debate: the Yonaguni Monument. Discovered in 1986 by local diver Kiichiro Aratake, this massive formation is composed of fine-grained sandstone and mudstone, common sedimentary rocks in the region. What makes it extraordinary is its appearance. It resembles a stepped pyramid, or a complex of terraces and platforms, featuring remarkably straight edges, flat surfaces, and right-angled corners. The monument's dimensions are substantial, approximately 150 meters long, 40 meters wide, and 27 meters high. It consists of multiple layers or steps, with some areas featuring what appear to be staircases connecting large, flat terraces. Other features include depressions and channels that resemble basins or pools, and upright stone pillars and walls with sharp angles. Dr. Masaki Kimura, a marine geologist from the University of the Ryukyus, has been the most prominent advocate for the theory that the Yonaguni Monument is a human-made structure. Over years of research, his team has meticulously documented the monument's features, arguing that the precision of the angles, the regularity of the shapes, and the presence of seemingly functional elements, like the staircases and basins, are highly unlikely to have been formed solely by natural processes. Kimura proposes that the monument was part of a city or complex built more than 10,000 years ago, during a period when sea levels were significantly lower. He suggests that it was submerged by rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age, or possibly by a catastrophic tectonic event. This timeline presents a significant challenge to established archaeological understanding of the Ryukyu Islands. While the islands have a long history of human habitation, with evidence of human presence dating back over 30,000 years to the Paleolithic period, the earliest known complex societies in the region are much more recent. The Gusuku period, characterized by the construction of stone castles, Gusuku, and the development of a distinct Ryukyuan culture, flourished between the 12th and 15th centuries AD. There is no currently accepted archaeological evidence of a civilization capable of constructing a structure like the Yonaguni Monument during the proposed timeframe of 10,000 years ago. This timeline presents a significant challenge to established archaeological understanding of the Ryukyu Islands. While the islands have a long history of human habitation, with evidence of human presence dating back over 30,000 years to the Paleolithic period, the earliest known complex societies in the region are much more recent. The Gusuku period, characterized by the construction of stone castles, Gusuku, and the development of a distinct Ryukyuan culture, flourished between the 12th and 15th centuries AD. there is no currently accepted archaeological evidence of a civilization capable of constructing a structure like the Yonaguni monument during the proposed timeframe of 10,000 years ago. Geologists suggest that the combination of natural jointing, tectonic activity, and erosion over thousands of years could have produced the seemingly artificial features of the Yonaguni monument. They point to similar, albeit smaller scale, naturally occurring formations found elsewhere in the world as evidence that such geological processes can create remarkably geometric shapes. Both the Bimini Road and the Yonaguni monument remain subjects of intense debate and ongoing research. While the scientific consensus leans towards natural geological explanations, the visual impact of these structures and the tantalizing possibility of lost civilizations continue to fuel alternative theories. Definitive proof, in the form of irrefutable artifacts or clear evidence of human modification, would be needed to overturn the prevailing scientific view. These underwater mysteries serve as a powerful reminder of the vastness of our oceans and the limitations of our current knowledge. They highlight the importance of continued exploration and open-minded scientific inquiry. The possibility, however remote, that these sites represent a radically different understanding of human history, a prehistory extending far beyond our current understanding, keeps the questions alive and underscores the enduring human fascination with our origins and the potential for groundbreaking discoveries that could rewrite the story of our past. The continued study of these sites, employing advanced technologies and interdisciplinary approaches, may yet reveal secrets that have been hidden beneath the waves for millennia.
We have this curious stonework, and we also have it at Alakahoyuk in Turkey. Exactly the same kind of thing. Is this a coincidence, or is there something going on behind the scenes of history that we've not been fully informed about yet?
Perched high atop the rugged peaks of the Taurus Mountains in southeastern Turkey, the tomb of King Antiochus Theos of Commagene at Mount Nemrut beckons with the whispers of ancient secrets and celestial mysteries. Erected over 2 millennia ago, this monumental sanctuary is not only a marvel of Hellenistic engineering, but also a cryptic canvas of colossal gods and inscriptions that blend the myths of East and West. As the sun rises and sets, aligning perfectly with the stone behemoths that guard this sacred summit, the mystery deepens. What divine ambitions did this forgotten king harbor, and what secrets lie buried beneath these stone giants, silently watching over the empire of Commagene? For centuries, the towering statues of Mount Nemrut stood silently, known only to the local people who wove their existence into the fabric of local myths, calling it the throne of the gods. This mix of reverence and legend kept the site tucked away in the annals of folklore until a twist of fate brought it back into the light. In the 1880s, Karl Sester, a German road engineer working on infrastructure projects for the Ottoman Empire, stumbled upon these majestic relics not out of archaeological zeal, but through sheer happenstance. His subsequent sketches and reports were the first to unveil the grandeur of Nemrut's statues to the Western world, sparking a wave of interest among European archaeologists and historians. The rediscovery of Mount Nemrut set the stage for a series of explorations that would delve deeper into its historical and cultural contexts. Shortly after Sester, Osman Hamdi Bey, an Ottoman archaeologist and painter, conducted more systematic studies at the site. He proposed that the Grand Mound could very well be the tomb of King Antiochus III of Commagene, an idea supported by the inscriptions and formidable statues that guard the site. This period marked a significant turning point, drawing a flurry of academic expeditions that pieced together the narrative of King Antiochus I, while enriching the field of Near Eastern archaeology. The artistic styles of the statues, with their blend of Persian, Hellenistic, and indigenous elements, provide a fascinating glimpse into the cultural interplay of the Hellenistic period, post-Alexander the Great's conquests. This fusion of artistic influences offers a window into the dynamic cultural exchanges of the era, further underscoring the historical significance of southeastern Turkey as a cultural crossroads. Perched at an altitude of 2,134 meters in the rugged Taurus Mountains, Mount Nemrut commands a view that stretches vast and wide, overseeing the Euphrates River Valley. This strategic and visual dominance was no accident. It was a clear symbol of power and divine status, meticulously chosen by King Antiochus I. The site's layout, with its statues and burial mound aligned to catch the rays of the rising sun during the equinox and the setting sun at the summer solstice, underscores the solar worship prevalent during Antiochus's reign. This astronomical alignment not only highlights the king's desire to link himself with the cosmos, but also speaks volumes about the sophisticated understanding of celestial patterns by ancient civilizations. The mystical heights of Mount Nemrut in southeastern Turkey are not only a testament to ancient engineering, but also to the pioneering spirit of those who have uncovered its secrets. In 1953, American archaeologist Teresa Girl began a systematic exploration of this enigmatic site, which was particularly groundbreaking as it was one of the first major archaeological projects led by a woman. Her work, supported by institutions like the Bollingen Foundation, the American Philosophical Society, and later the National Geographic Society, was crucial for the sustained excavation and research that would follow. Despite numerous challenges, including harsh weather conditions and logistical issues in transporting equipment up the mountain, Girl's team persevered. Using traditional excavation techniques, Girl and her crew were meticulous in their approach, ensuring the integrity of every artifact and structure discovered. Their efforts unveiled not just the colossal statues, but also a series of reliefs and inscriptions that illuminated the cultural and religious life of the Kingdom of Commagene. These findings were pivotal in confirming that the tumulus was indeed the burial site of Antiochus III, aligning with earlier hypotheses about the site's purpose. As archaeological methods advanced, later explorations at Mount Nemrut incorporated technologies such as digital mapping and photogrammetry. These tools allowed archaeologists to capture high-resolution images of the site, which facilitated precise measurements and detailed records of the statues and inscriptions without risking physical damage. Techniques like ground-penetrating radar and electrical resistivity tomography were also employed to probe the internal structure of the tumulus, searching for potential burial chambers or other archaeological features without the need for invasive digging. Further studies have focused on the astronomical significance of the site's layout. Researchers suggest that the arrangement of the statues may align with the rising and setting of the sun during solstices and equinoxes, hinting at these events' religious or ceremonial importance in Antiochus's ideology. From the tomb of Antiochus the Bion at Mount Nemrut to the pyramids of Giza in Egypt, there lies a fascinating comparison. Both sites were built as tombs for their respective rulers, serving as monumental tributes to their power and divine status. However, while the pyramids are primarily massive stone structures designed to house the pharaoh's remains and belongings for the afterlife, Mount Nemrut combines burial purposes with a religious sanctuary, featuring colossal statues that showcase a blend of Hellenistic and Persian influences. Moreover, both sites exhibit significant astronomical alignments. The pyramids are meticulously aligned to the cardinal points, possibly reflecting celestial phenomena, while Nemrut's layout seems to focus on solar events, emphasizing the importance of astronomy in ancient religious and burial practices. This fascinating alignment hints at a deeper connection between celestial phenomena and the divine rites of ancient rulers, suggesting that these majestic sites were not only final resting places, but also key to understanding the cosmos itself. The artifacts and inscriptions unearthed at Mount Nemrut serve as crucial pieces in piecing together the reign of Antiochus the Theos and the syncretic fabric of the Commagene kingdom. It's truly fascinating how these discoveries offer deep insights into his ambitions and ideological foundations. The inscriptions on Mount Nemrut are a linguistic blend of Greek and Persian, underscoring the dual influences that shaped the kingdom. Greek served as the lingua franca of the broader Hellenistic world, while Persian reflected the local traditions and the legacy of the Achaemenid Empire from which Commagene emerged. Delving deeper into the inscriptions, they frequently include detailed genealogies that link Antiochus to deities and illustrious rulers. This not only legitimized his rule, but also positioned him as a cultural and celestial bridge. Among these, the Nomos of Antiochus inscription is particularly noteworthy. This foundational text outlined the religious and administrative laws Antiochus established, detailing ritual practices and festivals to honor him alongside the gods after his death, effectively creating a state religion that deified the king. Turning our gaze to the statues and reliefs, the iconography at Mount Nemrut is nothing short of spectacular. The statues depict Antiochus the Tarn alongside a pantheon of gods such as Zeus Oromasdes, Apollo Mithras, and Hercules Artagnes, merging Greek and Persian divine figures. These statues are not only colossal but intricately carved from stone, showcasing a blend of artistic styles that highlight Antiochus's role as a mediator between his people and the divine. This symbolic placement elevates him to a semi-divine status, visually asserting his place in the cosmic order. An interesting parallel can be drawn between the statues at Mount Nemrut and China's terracotta army. Both serve profound funerary and commemorative purposes, standing as guardians over the afterlives of their respective rulers and as monumental tributes to their divine status. However, while the terracotta army underscores the military might of the Chinese emperor, the statues at Mount Nemrut emphasize a blend of military prowess and divine wisdom, reflecting Antiochus's unique approach to rulership. Moreover, one of the most captivating theories about Mount Nemrut concerns its astronomical alignment. Researchers suggest that the arrangement of the statues and the tumulus itself may align with astronomical phenomena such as solstices and equinoxes. This alignment might mark significant dates like Antiochus's birthday or coronation day, or serve to highlight seasonal festivals that reinforced his divine kingship.
It was the view, very firm view of archaeologists, that there had been no megalithic architecture. When I say megalithic, I mean literally big stones, stone circles, huge constructions, nothing like that before 6,000 years ago. Central to my work was the notion of a global cataclysm, roughly 12,500, 12,800 years ago. They are not saying that it also wiped out a lost advanced civilization of prehistory. I'm saying that.
In the heart of Lebanon's Bekaa Valley lies an ancient wonder that defies the sands of time, the Baalbek Temple Complex.
This is Baalbek in the Lebanon. Each of these 3 blocks weighs 900 tons.
Home to some of the largest and most mysterious stone blocks ever used in construction, these colossal remnants of the Roman Empire's grandeur weigh as much as 1,650 tons each, more than an entire fleet of blue whales. How these stones were transported and precisely set into place remains one of history's most captivating puzzles.
I don't know how they did it. All I know is they did it. I don't think anybody knows how they did it, how they lifted those stones, how they brought them up to that level.
Join us as we delve into the enigmatic world of Baalbek, where ancient engineering meets modern curiosity, challenging everything we thought we knew about human ingenuity.
A Roman site for sure, but what about this bizarre enclosure wall that surrounds it?
Nestled in the fertile Bekaa Valley of Lebanon, the ancient site of Baalbek is a testament to architectural and cultural grandeur spanning thousands of years. Known as Heliopolis during the Hellenistic period, Baalbek's journey began as a modest Phoenician town named Baalath, dedicated to the worship of Baal, a god associated with the sun and storms, pivotal to the agricultural rituals of its people. The transformation of Baalbek accelerated following its conquest by Alexander the Great in 334 BC. Under Alexander, the city absorbed Greek cultural and architectural elements, emblematic of his broader strategy to fuse Greek and local traditions across the regions he conquered. This Hellenistic influence set the stage for Baalbek's later architectural evolution under the Romans, who saw the city's strategic and religious potential.
What archaeologists say, they found they could move 900-ton blocks, but 1,000 tons was too much for them.
Roman architects and engineers embarked on an ambitious construction agenda in the 1st century BC, which saw Baalbek grow into a grand ceremonial center. The centerpiece was the Temple of Jupiter, one of the largest temples in the Roman Empire, featuring 54 massive granite columns, each standing 70 feet tall. Today, only 6 of these majestic columns remain, but they continue to dominate the landscape, offering a window into what was an architectural marvel of the ancient world. Nearby, the Temple of Bacchus stands as a testament to Roman decorative art and architectural detail, with its well-preserved carvings depicting mythological scenes and festivities. Not far from these, the Temple of Venus showcases a unique circular design, breaking from traditional Roman architectural norms and highlighting a syncretic blend of Roman and local religious practices. Baalbek's construction feats, especially the transportation and placement of massive limestone blocks, draw parallels with other ancient marvels like the Egyptian pyramids and Stonehenge, showcasing the Romans' advanced engineering techniques.
Look at the famous King's Chamber. Its walls and its ceiling of the King's Chamber are all made with gigantic blocks.
The site was not just an architectural statement, but also a cultural hub, attracting pilgrims and spectators from across the empire to its religious festivals and games, blending Roman and local traditions in grand displays of public celebration. In comparison to other monumental Roman sites like the Pantheon in Rome, Baalbek stands out for its scale and the complexity involved in erecting such gigantic structures far from the Roman heartland. The Pantheon, with its massive dome and oculus, reflects similar ambitions in Roman architectural prowess, but in a vastly different urban setting. Both sites, however, illustrate the Roman Empire's architectural ambition and its ability to mobilize resources and technology across its vast territories. The stone blocks of Baalbek, particularly within the Temple of Jupiter complex, represent some of the most astonishing elements of ancient architecture found anywhere in the world. These massive stones serve as a testament to the extraordinary engineering prowess of their builders. Their construction techniques and capabilities continue to spark both fascination and scholarly debate. At the heart of the complex sits the Trilithon, a trio of stone blocks that form the podium of the Temple of Jupiter. Each stone measures roughly 64 feet in length, 13 feet in height, and 14 feet in width and weighs about 800 tons. The precision with which these gigantic stones are fitted together, without any mortar, is truly remarkable. Such an engineering feat required not only advanced planning and ample resources, but also the ingenious use of simple machines like levers and inclined planes, combined with significant human and mechanical effort. Just about 900 meters from the main temple complex, in a nearby quarry, lies the Stone of the Pregnant Woman.
The quarry contains a number of very large blocks that were never transported.
This monolith, approximately 69 feet long and weighing around 1,000 tons, has never been moved from where it was originally cut. The stone's name comes from a local legend suggesting that touching the stone can ensure a safe and easy delivery for pregnant women, highlighting the cultural and superstitious significance these ancient stones hold within local folklore. In 2014, an even larger stone was unearthed in the same quarry.
Why only recently excavated? Because the whole site was covered in sedimentation.
At 64 feet in length and estimated to weigh about 1,650 tons, it stands as the largest known stone ever carved by human hands. This discovery significantly expanded our understanding of the capabilities of ancient engineers and their technological advancements. Comparing these megalithic stones to other ancient wonders provides further context to their impressive nature. For instance, while Stonehenge in England is renowned for its circular arrangement of standing stones, the largest of these stones weighs merely about 30 tons, far less than the massive blocks of Baalbek. The construction of Stonehenge involved transporting stones over long distances, presenting a different type of logistical challenge and ingenuity. However, the sheer scale and weight of the Baalbek stones showcase an unparalleled architectural ambition in the ancient world. Similarly, when we consider the Egyptian pyramids, particularly the Great Pyramid of Giza, the limestone blocks typically weigh between 2 to 15 tons, with the largest granite stones in the King's Chamber weighing between 25 to 80 tons.
Now, Egyptologists will tell you that, they could move heavy blocks because they put them on wet sand and they push them along on wet sand. Maybe if you're just at ground level, that will do, but when you're 350 feet above the ground, as you are in the King's Chamber, that won't do at all.
The stones of Baalbek far exceed these in size, highlighting the unique challenges and skills required for their transport and placement. Unlike the primarily tomb-like structures of the Giza pyramids, Baalbek's temples served ceremonial and religious functions, indicating diverse uses of massive stones across ancient civilizations. This comparison not only illustrates the monumental scale of Baalbek's construction, but also underscores the diverse architectural and cultural expressions of ancient societies. The Baalbek temple complex, with its colossal stone blocks, stands as one of the greatest engineering achievements of the ancient world. The tasks involved in constructing this monumental site weren't just about brute strength. They required meticulous planning, advanced organizational skills, and a deep understanding of physics and engineering principles. These elements combined challenge our modern perceptions of ancient technology and showcase the ingenuity of our ancestors. The architectural grandeur of Baalbek was no accident. It reflected the Roman Empire's immense ambition and its desire to display power and divine favor. The sheer scale of the temples served multiple purposes, both religious and political, reinforcing the might of Rome and the sanctity of the location. This complex was designed to awe and affirm the presence of Roman authority in the region. The transportation of the massive stones is believed to have been primarily conducted using rollers made from large tree trunks, with the stones themselves placed on sledges. These sledges, acting as platforms, helped distribute the weight of the stones and prevented the rollers from sinking into the ground. Historical texts even mention the use of olive oil as a lubricant on the paths, a technique that significantly reduced friction, making it easier to move these enormous weights over considerable distances. The placement of these giant stones remains a subject of debate among historians. Techniques such as the use of wooden cranes, which were similar to those used in medieval constructions, likely played a role. These cranes, utilizing ropes, pulleys, and possibly treadwheels, would have amplified the force exerted by humans or animals. Another plausible technique involved constructing large earth ramps, which would have provided a gradual incline to drag the stones into their precise positions. Lever systems, employing long wooden beams to lift and position stones, might have also been used, requiring less material than ramps, but a greater understanding of leverage mechanics. Drawing parallels, the construction techniques theorized for Baalbek closely resemble those hypothesized for the building of the Egyptian pyramids, particularly the Pyramid of Giza. Like Baalbek, the transportation of the pyramid stones likely involved sledges and possibly rollers, with the use of water as a lubricant depicted in ancient Egyptian wall paintings. For lifting, the Egyptians are believed to have utilized a combination of ramps and lever systems. Constructed over a millennium before Baalbek, the pyramids highlight a continuity in complex engineering techniques that span cultures and ages, underscoring a shared architectural heritage in the ancient world. This shared legacy speaks volumes about the ingenuity embedded in ancient construction practices, linking disparate cultures through their monumental achievements.
Somewhere off India's coasts, beneath layers of salt and centuries, lie cities that once bustled with life, now drowned, shattered, and forgotten. For millennia, they lived only in whispered legends, tales of golden kingdoms swallowed by the sea, of temples that vanished beneath waves, of a great flood that reshaped the world. But what if these weren't just stories? What if the ocean has been keeping a secret, and we've only just begun to listen?
Across India's ancient texts, there are vivid accounts of a cataclysmic flood, a deluge that submerged vast lands and ended entire civilizations. For centuries, these stories were treated as mythology, allegories, but modern science is shifting that view. Around the end of the last ice age, between 15,000 and 6,000 years ago, sea levels rose by nearly 120 meters. Entire coastlines vanished. Any ancient city near the sea would have stood no chance. And some we're beginning to find. Let's start with a legend. A city of unimaginable wealth, ruled by a divine king, Dwarka, the kingdom of Lord Krishna. Said to be a marvel of architecture and prosperity, Dwarka's story ends in tragedy, swallowed by the Arabian Sea after Krishna's death. For generations, scholars dismissed it. Too poetic, too perfect. But then, in the late 20th century, sonar scans off the coast of Gujarat revealed something that stunned archaeologists. Submerged geometric structures arranged in grids, stone walls, pillars, steps, an entire city beneath the waves. Divers recovered pottery, anchors, and temple fragments. Some of the material dated back over 5,000 years. Others believed it could be 10,000 years old, placing it well before the rise of known Indian civilizations. Could Dwarka be more than myth? The evidence was impossible to ignore. Then came something even more astonishing. In the early 2000s, researchers from India's National Institute of Ocean Technology were conducting routine seabed scans in the Gulf of Khambhat when they stumbled upon what looked like the outline of a massive settlement. Not a village, a metropolis. Spanning over 5 miles in length and nearly 2 miles wide, it featured grid patterns, large rectangular foundations, and possible roads. When divers descended, they found pottery shards, carved stones, tools, and even human bones and teeth. Radiocarbon dating suggested some items were over 9,000 years old. That would mean this city predated the Egyptian pyramids. It would make it one of the oldest known urban settlements on Earth. The implications were staggering. India's earliest known civilization, the Indus Valley, was believed to begin around 2500 BCE. But this find? It pushed human settlement in India back by several millennia. Some called it the lost cradle of Indian civilization. Others were more cautious, urging further verification. But no one denied it. Something extraordinary had been discovered beneath the waves. And the sea wasn't done speaking. Travel southeast to the shores of Tamil Nadu. There, in the coastal town of Mahabalipuram, locals have long told tales of the 7 pagodas, 6 magnificent temples said to have been swallowed by the ocean, with only one left standing on land. For centuries, this was dismissed as folklore. But then came the Indian Ocean tsunami of 2004. As the water pulled back from the shore in those terrible moments before the wave struck, fishermen and onlookers witnessed something incredible. Rows of submerged stone structures, pillars, carvings, statues, briefly exposed on the ocean floor. They saw lions, elephants, and deities etched into granite blocks. The sea had unveiled the ruins of the lost temples, just long enough for them to be photographed, before it crashed back and covered them once again. In the years that followed, archaeologists backed by the Indian Navy explored the submerged site. They found walls, steps, platforms, and temple-like structures about 8 meters underwater. The style matched the Pallava dynasty from around 1300 years ago, suggesting that the story of the 7 pagodas wasn't just symbolic, it was historical memory, passed down across generations. And yet, the oldest and most mysterious site of all may lie farther south, off the coast of Pumpuhar. Pumpuhar, once a thriving port city mentioned in ancient Tamil literature, was believed to have been lost to the sea in a great flood. Early dives revealed scattered ruins close to shore. But in recent years, sonar scans from Indian universities and oceanographic institutes made a startling revelation. Submerged structures nearly 100 meters deep and 40 kilometers offshore. That depth aligns with sea levels from over 12 to 15,000 years ago, the tail end of the last ice age. If confirmed, that would make Pumpuhar one of the oldest known human settlements on Earth. Researchers believe they may have found harbour walls, foundations of homes, and even a lighthouse base. Though no organic material has yet been recovered for direct dating, the geography and layout suggest a complex urban design, built long before history books say cities even existed. The Great Flood wasn't just one event. It was a global phenomenon. Glaciers melted, oceans rose, and shorelines changed forever. These cities, once alive with rituals and marketplaces, were drowned. Their stories, distorted by time, survived as myths. Until now. But perhaps the most startling revelation is not just that ancient cities were lost. It's that some people may never have left the sea at all. Because while the waters claimed cities and temples, what if a few communities learned to adapt instead of retreat? In our next episode, we uncover the incredible story of an underwater tribe that still exists today. A people who've mastered life beneath the surface, not in myth, but in astonishing reality. Stay with us. This is a discovery you'll never forget.
A fascination that many ancient history enthusiasts have is the possible existence of ruined cities under the sea. After all, surely it's possible, considering the rise of sea levels over time and of natural disasters hitting the coasts. Not only is that possible, we know it to be true, as there have been several ancient cities found underwater. And the results of this work have revealed astounding discoveries over the years.
Scientists have recently discovered an underwater tribe that still exists today, captivating the world with their remarkable survival skills and deep connection to the sea. The Moken, Haida, Sami, and Chumash are indigenous groups known for their sophisticated fishing and underwater hunting abilities. Their fascinating lifestyles reveal a wealth of knowledge about living and ancient traditions that continue to thrive against the odds.
This is Baalbek in the Lebanon. Each of these 3 blocks weighs 900 tons. And it's extraordinary the way they're built into a wall and raised 30 feet above the ground like this. What archaeologists say, and it still amuses me, they found they could move 900-ton blocks, but 1,000 tons was too much for them. So they couldn't move them. In my view, that's a very un-Roman thing to do.
In the verdant Bekaa Valley of Lebanon, the ancient Baalbek temple complex stands as a monumental relic of the Roman Empire, showcasing some of the largest stone blocks ever used in construction.
Nearby is the quarry, and the quarry contains a number of very large blocks that were never transported.
These massive stones, weighing up to 1,650 tons, surpassing the collective weight of a fleet of blue whales, pose a long-standing enigma. How were they transported and expertly placed? This mystery continues to intrigue scholars and historians, placing Baalbek at the intersection of ancient engineering and modern-day curiosity, challenging our perceptions of ancient human capabilities.
That is one of the mistakes in looking for a quote-unquote advanced civilization in the past, is that we tend to be looking for ourselves.
Originally a modest Phoenician town called Baalath, Baalbek was dedicated to the worship of Baal, a deity associated with the sun and storms crucial to agricultural rituals. The city's transformation began in earnest after being conquered by Alexander the Great in 334 BC, integrating Greek cultural and architectural elements, a testament to Alexander's strategy of cultural fusion across his empire. This set the stage for later Roman expansions that capitalized on Baalbek's strategic and religious significance. Roman influence in Baalbek reached its zenith in the 1st century BC, when ambitious construction projects transformed the city into a grand ceremonial hub. The Temple of Jupiter, an architectural giant of the Roman Empire, originally featured 54 colossal granite columns, each standing 70 feet tall. Today, only 6 remain, but they still dominate the landscape and offer a glimpse into the past grandeur. Adjacent to this, the Temple of Bacchus stands as a marvel of Roman decorative art, richly adorned with carvings that depict mythological scenes and festive rituals.
Myths are the memory bank of our species.
Treating the myths as a way of passing on true information.
Yes.
The nearby Temple of Venus, with its distinctive circular design, deviates from traditional Roman architectural practices and illustrates the syncretic blending of Roman and local religious traditions. The construction of Baalbek, particularly the transportation and installation of its immense limestone blocks, invites comparisons to other architectural wonders like the Egyptian pyramids and Stonehenge, highlighting the Romans' advanced engineering skills. More than just an architectural feat, Baalbek served as a cultural nucleus, drawing pilgrims and viewers from across the empire for religious festivals and games, a fusion of Roman and indigenous traditions in a vibrant public spectacle. When compared to other iconic Roman structures like the Pantheon in Rome, Baalbek is distinguished by its sheer scale and the logistical challenges involved in erecting such monumental structures far from Rome. The Pantheon, with its vast dome and central oculus, showcases Rome's architectural ambition in an urban context, similar in spirit, but executed under different circumstances. Both sites exemplify the Roman Empire's architectural vision and its capacity to leverage resources and technology throughout its extensive dominions. The colossal stone blocks within the Temple of Jupiter at Baalbek stand as profound testaments to the exceptional engineering skills of their ancient architects. These megaliths continue to captivate scholars and spark debates about the construction techniques employed to maneuver such massive structures into place. Central to the Baalbek complex is the trilithon, 3 immense stone blocks that form the base of the Temple of Jupiter. Each block extends about 64 feet long, 13 feet high, and 14 feet wide, with each weighing roughly 800 tons. The blocks are meticulously fitted together without the use of mortar, showcasing a remarkable precision that required sophisticated planning, abundant resources, and the innovative use of simple mechanical principles like levers and inclined planes, alongside considerable human and animal labor. Located approximately 900 meters from the main temple area, in a nearby quarry, rests the stone of the pregnant woman. This enormous stone, about 69 feet in length and weighing approximately 1,000 tons, remains where it was originally carved. Named after a local legend that suggests touching the stone could aid in safe childbirth, this monolith underscores the cultural and mythological importance these stones hold in local traditions. In 2014, an excavation at the same quarry uncovered an even larger stone, measuring 64 feet in length and estimated to weigh about 1,650 tons, making it the largest stone ever carved by human hands known today. This find has significantly broadened our understanding of the technological prowess and capabilities of the ancient builders. When compared to other ancient structures, the scale of Baalbek's stones is particularly striking. For instance, Stonehenge in England, famous for its prehistoric circle of standing stones, features the largest stone weighing around 30 tons, a fraction of the size of Baalbek's stones. The logistics involved in transporting the Stonehenge stones over considerable distances also demonstrate remarkable ingenuity, but on a different scale. Furthermore, the Egyptian pyramids, notably the Great Pyramid of Giza, primarily utilize limestone blocks weighing between 2 to 15 tons, with the largest granite blocks in the King's Chamber weighing between 25 to 80 tons.
But remember that the ancient Egyptians tell us in many of their texts that everything they knew was a legacy.
The Baalbek stones significantly surpass these in size, highlighting the unique challenges and advanced skills needed for their transport and placement. Unlike the pyramids, which were primarily tombs, the temples at Baalbek had ceremonial and religious functions, showing different motivations for employing such massive stones in ancient construction. This comparison not only showcases the monumental scale of Baalbek's engineering feats, but also emphasizes the varied architectural and cultural roles these structures played in their respective societies. The Baalbek temple complex, renowned for its colossal stone blocks, exemplifies one of the ancient world's most remarkable engineering feats. The construction of this monumental site demanded more than sheer physical force. It required intricate planning, sophisticated organizational skills, and a profound grasp of engineering and physics principles. These combined factors not only challenge our contemporary understanding of ancient technology, but also highlight the remarkable ingenuity of our ancestors. The architectural magnificence of Baalbek was a deliberate reflection of the Roman Empire's vast ambition and its intent to manifest power and divine approval. The grand scale of the temples served dual purposes, both religious and political, designed to reinforce Rome's authority in the region and to impress upon the sanctity of the site. This complex was strategically crafted to inspire awe and underscore the Roman presence. The movement of Baalbek's massive stones likely involved the use of large tree trunks as rollers, with the stones themselves mounted on sledges. These sledges served as platforms that distributed the weight of the stones, preventing the rollers from becoming embedded in the ground. Historical accounts suggest that paths may have been lubricated with olive oil to reduce friction, facilitating the movement of these enormous weights over significant distances. The method of positioning these gargantuan stones is still debated among historians. It is probable that wooden cranes, akin to those used in medieval building projects, were employed. These cranes would have utilized ropes, pulleys, and possibly tread wheels to enhance the force applied by human or animal labor. Another likely technique was the construction of large earth ramps that provided a gradual incline for dragging the stones into precise locations. Lever systems, which utilized long wooden beams, might have also been employed to lift and position the stones, requiring a sophisticated understanding of leverage mechanics, but less construction material than ramps. Comparatively, the construction techniques postulated for Baalbek bear resemblance to those speculated for the building of the Egyptian pyramids.
Is marine archaeology being done? Yes, it is. Marine archaeology is being done. But the vast area that was submerged during the end of the Ice Age has never been studied by archaeology. Well, Santa and I decided to do some investigation of our own underwater. And I'm going to show you why I believe archaeologists are wrong.
Santa and I spent 7 years of our lives scuba diving all around the world. You're coming across statues underwater, you're coming across columns underwater. It's just magical, diving on an underwater city.
For centuries, the lost city of Herakleion, or Thonis as it was known to the ancient Egyptians, was thought to be nothing more than a legend, hidden beneath the waves near the mouth of the Nile River, off the modern-day coast of Alexandria, Egypt. It was a city whispered about in a few rare inscriptions and ancient texts, until its discovery in the early 2000s.
You have to be careful when you look at underwater structures. You have to look at all the conditions that have led to their submergence.
Underwater archaeologist Frank Goddio and his team unveiled this submerged city, transforming it from myth to reality in a groundbreaking moment for archaeology. Herakleion was not just any city. It was a vital gateway to Egypt, a primary port for Greek trade before Alexandria took prominence. This bustling hub was alive with commerce, culture, and religion, serving as a significant center for the worship of the god Amun-Gareb.
The submergence of those sites is largely because of subsidence of land rather than sea level rise, because it's relatively recent.
Among its most revered ceremonies was the annual Mysteries of Osiris, celebrating the resurrection of Osiris.
But over here we have the god Osiris from Egypt, remembered by the ancient Egyptians as a bringer of the gifts of civilization, not only in Egypt, but in many other lands as well.
The artifacts and inscriptions recovered from beneath the waters tell tales of this grand city. Located about 6.5 kilometers off the coast, submerged under 30 to 45 feet of water, the ruins of Herakleion have yielded an astonishing array of artifacts. Giant statues towering over 5 meters high, beautifully carved and remarkably preserved in the silty seabed, depict Egyptian gods and goddesses alongside pharaohs and Greek rulers, a testament to the cultural melting pot that was Herakleion.
They came to Egypt and established religion by building primeval mounds up and down the Nile Valley.
Alongside these, gold coins and bronze and stone weights unearthed from the site offer glimpses into the trade networks and economic systems that underpinned the city's prosperity. Adding to the intrigue, archaeologists found dozens of small limestone sarcophagi, likely used for mummified animals brought as offerings, and the remains of over 64 ancient shipwrecks. These discoveries weave a narrative of a city where commerce and devotion to the gods were deeply entwined, a place of profound spiritual significance. Drawing parallels between Herakleion and the ancient city of Pompeii in Italy presents an interesting perspective on how natural disasters can both destroy and preserve. While Pompeii was buried in volcanic ash, Herakleion succumbed to rising waters and earthquakes. Yet both cities lay forgotten for centuries, their rediscoveries providing snapshots of ancient life. Pompeii offers a view of Roman life captured in ash, whereas Herakleion's story is told through artifacts preserved under the sea, offering unique insights into ancient Egyptian civilization. The ongoing exploration of Herakleion challenges our understanding of ancient history, shedding light on the interconnectedness of ancient civilizations. The city's artifacts and structures, now emerging from the depths, serve as a potent reminder of the fleeting nature of human achievements and the intricate tapestry of human history. Now moving on to another discovery. The submerged ruins of Cleopatra's palace offer a fascinating window into the past. This palace, once a bustling centre of political and cultural activity, was home to Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of Egypt, known for her intelligence, political acumen, and captivating presence. The discovery of its ruins has thrilled historians and archaeologists, providing unprecedented insights into Cleopatra's era, a time marked by immense political power, cultural achievements, and architectural splendor. The underwater excavations at this site have been nothing short of a treasure trove, unearthing a wealth of artifacts that tell the story of life in ancient Alexandria. Among the haul are magnificent statues that might have once graced the palace and its surroundings, depicting Egyptian gods, Ptolemaic rulers, and possibly Cleopatra herself. These finds offer clues to the artistic and religious milieu of the period. The submerged structures, thought to include the palace's living quarters and ceremonial areas, and possibly even the fabled Pharos lighthouse, give us a glimpse into the architectural and urban planning styles of the time. Moreover, everyday items such as pottery, glassware, coins, and personal ornaments have been found, painting a vivid picture of both the domestic life within the palace and the bustling economic life of Alexandria. Cleopatra's Alexandria was a cosmopolitan beacon of trade, culture, and learning, hosting the Great Library and attracting scholars from across the ancient world. Cleopatra's reign represented the peak of Alexandria's development as a hub of Hellenistic culture, merging Egyptian traditions with those of Greece and Rome. The underwater discovery of the palace highlights Alexandria's significance in the ancient Mediterranean world. Drawing parallels with the sunken Roman city of Baiae in the Bay of Naples, both Cleopatra's palace and Baiae were epitomes of luxury and political clout of their times, reflecting the architectural tastes and wealth of their civilizations. While Baiae reveals much about Roman elite leisure and architectural innovation, the underwater ruins of Cleopatra's palace open a portal to the end of the Egyptian pharaoh's era, and the attempts by the Ptolemaic dynasty to synthesize Egyptian and Hellenistic cultures. The exploration of Cleopatra's palace continues to enrich our understanding of ancient Alexandria's pivotal role in the Mediterranean. It also offers a deeper look into the life and times of one of history's most enigmatic figures, Cleopatra VII, and the lavish lifestyle she led. The ruins serve as a poignant reminder of Alexandria's former glory and the fleeting nature of human achievements, standing as a testament to the transformative power of nature over history. Founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BC, the port of Alexandria quickly ascended to become one of the ancient world's most crucial trade hubs, buzzing with the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. Its prime location on the Mediterranean coast of Egypt established it as a pivotal connector of trade routes from Europe, Asia, and Africa, transforming it into a melting pot of global significance. The strategic and economic importance of the port was unparalleled, primarily serving as the vital conduit for Egypt's grain shipments to Rome, which was essential for the empire's stability. Among the marvels that made Alexandria famous was the Pharos lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Positioned on the island of Pharos, this engineering masterpiece not only guided ships safely into the harbour with its formidable light, but also symbolised the city's affluence and ingenuity. Although not directly linked to the port, the Great Library of Alexandria was another testament to the city's intellectual and cultural richness, drawing scholars and thinkers from across the globe. The royal quarters and palaces of Alexandria, including the Museion, home to the famed library, reflected the city's role as a beacon of Hellenistic culture and power. Meanwhile, underwater archaeology in the port area has unveiled a trove of artifacts, from ancient shipwrecks to everyday items, shedding light on the maritime practices of the time and the diversity of goods that flowed through Alexandria. The port was a linchpin in the ancient economy, bustling with the trade of grain, papyrus, glass, and precious metals, among other commodities. Its docks and warehouses were a hive of activity, indicative of a well-organized network that made Alexandria a cultural and economic bridge between various civilizations. The discovery of diverse ship remains and goods in Alexandria highlights its wider reach in the ancient trade world. The legacy of the port of Alexandria is monumental. influencing maritime trade, architecture, and culture well beyond its heyday. Ongoing archaeological work in the port area continues to enrich our understanding of the interactions, economies, and daily life of ancient civilizations. Its history serves as a powerful reminder of humanity's interconnectedness through time.
We could have the proof that the city of Tunis and the city of Herakleion were one and the same city.
Underwater archaeological discoveries in Egypt have unveiled some of the most remarkable insights into ancient civilizations, particularly those related to the rich history of the Nile Delta, the coastal areas along the Mediterranean Sea, and various submerged sites. These findings not only provide a glimpse into the advanced engineering, trade, and practices of ancient Egyptians, but also shed light on their interactions with neighboring civilizations. Nestled at the mouth of the Nile River, in the protective embrace of Abu Qir Bay, lies the ancient city of Herakleion, also known to the Egyptians as Thonis. Its strategic location served as a critical junction, bridging Egypt with the vast Mediterranean and catapulting Herakleion into prominence as a bustling port city. This prime spot was not just about trade, it facilitated cultural exchanges that enriched ancient civilizations, making Herakleion a bustling hub of activity and a beacon of prosperity and innovation. The tale of Herakleion's discovery reads like a chapter from a mystery novel. Led by the French underwater archaeologist Frank Goddio in 2000, a team embarked on an archaeological odyssey, employing sonar mapping and advanced diving technologies to pierce the depths of the Mediterranean. Before this groundbreaking discovery, Herakleion was shrouded in myth, known only through cryptic mentions in ancient texts by historians like Herodotus and Strabo. Their writings painted a picture of a city that had vanished beneath the waves, adding layers of intrigue and speculation about its fate. Diving into the depths, Goddio and his team uncovered wonders that surpassed all expectations. They found more than 64 ancient ships entombed in the bay's protective clay and sand, alongside grand statues of gods and goddesses towering up to 5 meters high. These were not mere relics. They were storytellers whispering tales of economic vibrancy and intricate trade networks, with gold coins and bronze weights speaking volumes about the city's former glory. But Herakleion was more than a commercial center. It was a spiritual heartland. The discovery of giant statues of Hapi, the god of the Nile's floods, alongside the remnants of stone temples, underscored the city's religious significance. It was here that the annual Mysteries of Osiris processions likely commenced, weaving through the city in a vibrant display of faith and devotion, linking Herakleion to the divine. The city's layout, with its network of canals and basins, evoked comparisons to Venice's famed waterways. This sophisticated urban planning facilitated not just local trade, but played a pivotal role in international commerce, laying the foundations for Herakleion's prosperity. Amidst these discoveries, a compelling theory emerged about the city's sudden demise. Some scholars suggest that a catastrophic blend of geological subsidence and a tsunami, perhaps triggered by an earthquake, engulfed Herakleion in a tragic overnight fate. Sediment analysis supporting this rapid submersion theory presents a city frozen in time, a Pompeii beneath the waves. The story of Herakleion often conjures images of the legendary Atlantis, a city that, according to Plato, disappeared into the ocean in a day and night of misfortune. While Atlantis remains a tale, Herakleion stands as a tangible witness to the existence of advanced ancient cities that faced similar fates. As we dive deeper into the annals of history, the waters around Abu Qir Bay, just off the coast of Alexandria, whisper tales of valor and conflict from one of the 18th century's most decisive naval confrontations. This strategic maritime corridor, a bridge between the Mediterranean and the ancient lands of Egypt, has witnessed an array of military and trade activities, but none as renowned as the Battle of the Nile. Here, beneath the waves, lies a submerged chronicle of naval warfare that marked a turning point at the dawn of the 19th century. The exploration and recovery efforts in the depths of Abu Qir Bay are nothing short of a technological odyssey. Armed with side-scan sonar, magnetometers, and robotic submersibles, modern-day archaeologists have meticulously mapped the ocean floor. Their goal? To unearth the remnants of a sunken fleet that serves as a time capsule of a bygone era of naval combat. What they found was not just the skeletal remains of warships, but a collection of personal items, shoes, buttons, grooming tools that paint a vivid picture of the sailors who once manned these vessels. These artifacts, along with cannons and musket balls, narrate the fierce battle and the state of naval armament at the time. The significance of these findings cannot be overstated. They illuminate the strategic and tactical brilliance of Admiral Horatio Nelson, whose leadership and innovative tactics led the British fleet to a decisive victory over the French. The underwater positioning of the ships reveals the cunning of Nelson's maneuvers, securing British naval dominance in a battle that would echo through history. Delving into the historical narrative, some historians put forth an intriguing theory. They suggest that the unique environmental conditions of Abu Qir Bay, its tidal and wind patterns, played a pivotal role in the battle's outcome. This theory posits that the British fleet under Nelson's command leveraged these conditions for a surprise attack, catching the French fleet in a seemingly secure position, but ultimately vulnerable. The story of the Battle of the Nile often draws parallels with the defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588. Both monumental naval engagements signaled a significant shift in naval power and had profound impacts on European history. While the defeat of the Spanish Armada heralded England's rise as a global naval force, the victory at the Nile marked the beginning of the end for Napoleon's ambitions in the Eastern Mediterranean, cementing British naval supremacy for years to come. Beyond the tactical and strategic significance, the artifacts and shipwrecks resting in the depths of Abu Qir Bay stand as solemn monuments. Venturing from the submerged narratives of naval warfare into the realm of architectural wonders, the story of the Lighthouse of Alexandria, or Pharos, beckons with its tales of engineering mastery and historical intrigue. Standing as a beacon of ancient innovation, the Pharos was not just any lighthouse. It was a marvel that pierced the sky, reaching over 100 meters into the heavens, making it one of the tallest man-made structures of the ancient world. Crafted under the aegis of the Ptolemaic kingdom by Sostratus of Cnidus, its construction was a testament to the advanced engineering of the era, utilizing lead to anchor its massive stone blocks securely, ensuring resilience against the seismic shifts of the Earth. Through the lens of underwater archaeology, equipped with digital mapping and 3D reconstruction tools, explorers have scoured the seabed of Alexandria's eastern harbor. This meticulous exploration has unearthed fragments and massive blocks, some weighing as much as 75 tons, and statues that once graced the vicinity of the lighthouse, including the colossal representations of what might be Ptolemy II. These findings have shed light on the Pharos' grandeur, revealing a scale and complexity that surpasses earlier estimates. Among the intriguing theories surrounding the Pharos' design is the inclusion of a reflective mirror, possibly crafted from polished bronze. This ingenious device, capable of catching the sun's rays by day and the glow of fire by night, would have been visible from as far as 50 kilometers away, guiding mariners safely through the Mediterranean's treacherous waters. Such a feature underscores the lighthouse's role as a beacon of safety and a marvel of ancient technological prowess. Drawing parallels with another ancient wonder, the Colossus of Rhodes, the Pharos shares a narrative of monumental significance. Both structures, celebrated among the 7 wonders of the ancient world, stood on islands marking the entrance to strategic ports. And both succumbed to the ravages of earthquakes, their destruction marking the end of an era, but leaving behind a legacy wrapped in the aura of their former glory. The cultural and historical impact of the Pharos extends far beyond its physical presence. It served as a practical aid to navigation and a symbol of Alexandria's might and technological advancement. Immortalized on coins and in the literary accounts of Roman authors such as Pliny the Elder and Strabo, the Pharos has cemented its place in history as a beacon of ancient marvels. Its legacy continues to shine through in language, with the name Pharos becoming synonymous with lighthouses and beaconing across many cultures. This linguistic testament reflects the profound influence of the Pharos on maritime navigation and architectural design through the ages. The concept of a guiding light, safely leading sailors to shore, has become an enduring symbol of hope, guidance, and human ingenuity, inspired by the legendary Pharos of Alexandria. This transition from the depths of naval conflict to the pinnacle of ancient engineering marvels reveals the multifaceted tapestry of human history, woven through tales of conquest, innovation, and the indomitable spirit of exploration.
In a remote corner of southeastern Turkey, where the horizon stretches endlessly across the high plains, something extraordinary lies buried beneath the earth. A wind-swept hill, long thought to be just another natural rise in the land, hides one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of our time. As the morning sun casts its golden light, ancient stone pillars, massive, enigmatic, and impossibly old, emerge from the dust. This is no ordinary ruin. It is a structure older than history itself. A temple built nearly 12,000 years ago by hands we once thought too primitive for such ambition. This is Göbekli Tepe.
When archaeologists first began excavating the site in the 1990s, they couldn't believe what they had found. Massive T-shaped pillars arranged in circular formations, some towering over 16 feet tall and weighing as much as 10 tons, stood as silent witnesses to a forgotten past. But the real shock came when the stone enclosures were dated, around 9600 BCE. That's 7,000 years before the Great Pyramid of Giza and 6,000 years before Stonehenge. It shattered everything we thought we knew about the origins of civilization. At that point in history, according to conventional thinking, humans were still nomadic hunters and gatherers. Agriculture was still in its infancy. Cities, writing, organized religion, all of it still thousands of years away. And yet here was a temple complex, monumental, symbolic, and sophisticated, built with precision and purpose. It forced archaeologists and historians to ask a question that still lingers today. Who were these people, and how did they do it? The site is composed of a series of enclosures, each ringed by massive stone pillars arranged in circular or oval patterns. The most prominent enclosures feature two central pillars that dominate the space, flanked by smaller ones facing inward. All are carved from solid limestone, quarried nearby and somehow transported across rugged terrain. The effort to build such a structure implies planning, leadership, and a coordinated workforce, traits we never associated with Stone Age hunter-gatherers. Yet here, in stone, was undeniable evidence of a complex society. What's more, these pillars are not blank. Their surfaces are alive with carvings: snakes, foxes, vultures, wild boars, lions, scorpions, each etched with a level of artistry that is both haunting and deliberate. One particularly eerie depiction shows a headless man beneath a vulture's outstretched wings. The carvings may have been totems, clan emblems, or sacred symbols. Some scholars believe they formed part of a cosmology, a worldview passed down in stories now lost to time. Others even suggest the images represent constellations, frozen into stone as a kind of prehistoric star chart. Whatever their meaning, the motifs hint at a culture deeply attuned to the natural world, and perhaps even the sky above. This raises another profound question. What was Göbekli Tepe used for? It was not a settlement. There are no signs of homes, no hearths, no evidence of daily life. What remains points unmistakably to ritual, a sacred site where people gathered not to live, but to connect. Perhaps to the divine, to one another, or to something far older. The complexity of the site, and the fact that it was built before the advent of farming, suggests that spiritual belief may have been a catalyst for social organization. In other words, it may have been religion, not agriculture, that brought people together and led to the birth of civilization. That idea flips the traditional narrative. For decades, archaeologists believed that farming led to settled life, which eventually led to religion and temples. But Göbekli Tepe suggests the opposite, that communal ritual spaces like this might have come first. To sustain such gatherings, people would have needed food surpluses, and that may have driven the early development of agriculture in nearby valleys. It's a theory that rewrites the very foundations of our origin story. And then, just as mysteriously as it rose, the site was buried. Sometime around 8000 BCE, the people who built Göbekli Tepe filled in its enclosures with rubble and dirt. They entombed the massive pillars beneath layers of soil, erasing their sacred architecture from the surface of the earth. Why? Was it a ceremonial closure, the marking of an epoch's end? Or were they forced to leave by drought, disease, conflict, or change in belief? Whatever the reason, their act preserved the site in remarkable condition, sealing it in a protective tomb for 12 millennia. All of this took place during a period of profound climatic upheaval. The Ice Age was ending. Global temperatures were rising. Glaciers retreated, and the seas began to swell. Vast areas of coastal land vanished beneath water, and ancient peoples would have watched their world shift beneath their feet. It's easy to imagine how such cataclysmic change gave birth to enduring myths, stories of floods and lost lands that echo through the traditions of countless civilizations. The Epic of Gilgamesh, the oldest known literary text, speaks of a great flood. The Bible tells the tale of Noah, and the Greeks spoke of Atlantis, an advanced society swallowed by the sea in a single day and night. According to Plato, Atlantis disappeared around 9600 BCE, the very time Göbekli Tepe was constructed. Coincidence? Probably. But it's compelling nonetheless. These myths, though shaped by time and imagination, may echo real geological and societal upheavals experienced by our early ancestors. While Göbekli Tepe is not Atlantis, and we have no evidence of a pre-flood empire, what it does show is that our species has always been capable of wonder. That creativity, spirituality, and complexity lived within us long before cities and kings. The people of Göbekli Tepe may not have left behind written words, but in their stone circles, they etched a message that transcends time. We were here. We dreamed, we gathered, and we built something greater than ourselves. As the wind sighs across the Anatolian plateau and shadows stretch across the silent pillars, we are reminded of how much lies buried, forgotten, waiting to be unearthed. In the end, Göbekli Tepe doesn't just challenge our history, it invites us to imagine how many other stories, just as grand and forgotten, lie hidden beneath our feet, whispering from a time before time. And if you thought this 12,000-year-old discovery was mind-blowing, just wait, because it's not alone. Around the world, there are ancient structures that defy explanation, many of them older than history itself. In our next video, we're counting down the top 10 ancient structures that predate the Great Flood, and number 1 will leave you questioning everything we know about our past.
We have been taught that civilization is entirely an invention of the old world. That view is very firmly embedded in our own cultural arrogance, living in the old world.
Welcome to the mysteries of Sigiriya, the ancient sky fortress perched high above the jungles of Sri Lanka. Imagine a towering rock rising 660 feet into the sky, crowned with a palace that seems to touch the clouds. But what puzzles the mind are, why and how did ancient humans build such an awe-inspiring structure, complete with a vast body of water, so high above the ground? In today's video, we'll climb the steps of Sigiriya, uncover its hidden secrets, and explore the incredible engineering feats of the past. Stay tuned as we reveal how this fortress was not just a marvel of beauty, but a masterpiece of ancient technology. Did you know that the stunning Sigiriya, or Lion Rock, has a history deeply rooted in Sri Lankan royalty? This tale begins in the 5th century AD, vividly chronicled in the ancient Kulavamsa. It documents the saga of King Kasyapa, who ruled from 477 to 495 CE. In a dramatic twist, Kasyapa seized the throne from his half-brother Moggallana, setting the stage for a story of intrigue and architectural brilliance. To protect himself against potential retaliation, Kasyapa moved the capital from Anuradhapura to the formidable Sigiriya rock. Atop this 200-meter high granite monolith, he commissioned the construction of a fortress and a luxurious palace, showcasing his wealth and architectural vision. However, after the fall of Kasypa's dynasty, Sigiriya slipped into obscurity, cloaked by dense forest overgrowth and fading from collective memory. It wasn't until 1831 that the site re-emerged. That year, Major Jonathan Forbes of the 78th Highlanders, part of the British Army, rediscovered Sigiriya during a horseback expedition through the central forests of what was then Ceylon, now Sri Lanka. Stumbling upon this magnificent rock fortress and its ruins, Forbes's findings reignited global interest. His detailed writings and sketches brought Sigiriya back from obscurity, captivating colonial officials and scholars alike, and paving the way for future archaeological explorations. Following Major Jonathan Forbes's rediscovery of Sigiriya, the archaeological spotlight turned toward this fascinating structure, leading to its eventual excavation. The initial efforts to study Sigiriya were rather haphazard, lacking the systematic approach typical of early antiquarian activities in the region. However, a significant shift occurred in 1895 when H.C.P. Bell, the first Commissioner of Archaeology for Ceylon and a British archaeologist, took charge. Bell's structured investigations laid the groundwork for understanding Sigiriya's complex layout and rich historical tapestry, illuminating various facets of its construction and artistic achievements. As the 20th century progressed, the Department of Archaeology of Sri Lanka took the helm, bringing a new level of rigor to the exploration of Sigiriya. These systematic archaeological excavations really began to take shape by the mid-century, further accelerated when Sigiriya was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the 1980s. This period marked intense activities, including detailed mapping of the site, careful excavation of the gardens, and meticulous restoration of the ancient frescoes. Speaking of frescoes, the vibrant paintings on Sigiriya's western face are truly a sight to behold, depicting celestial maidens known as apsaras. These artworks showcase the exceptional skill of ancient Sri Lankan artists. Created with natural mineral pigments, these frescoes have withstood the ravages of time, their colours still vivid after more than 1,000 years. Their creation technique, reminiscent of the fresco secco method seen in India's Ajanta caves, highlights a shared artistic tradition across the region. However, Sigiriya's frescoes have a unique stylistic flair that captures the maidens in ethereal motion, as if floating in the air. The site's water gardens are yet another marvel. Unearthed through diligent excavation, these gardens reveal an intricate hydraulic system featuring pools, pavilions, and dynamically engineered fountains. This level of sophistication in water management suggests comparisons with the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon, illustrating that such engineering marvels were not confined to the Western world. Sigiriya's gardens were not only aesthetically pleasing, but also a demonstration of advanced hydraulic technology and urban planning by ancient engineers. Then there's the mirror wall, originally so well polished that it reflected King Kasypa's image as he passed. Over centuries, this wall became a canvas for the thoughts and musings of visitors, covered in inscriptions that date back to the 6th century. These writings, ranging from poetry to personal reflections, provide a unique glimpse into the minds of ancient travelers, similar to modern-day guestbooks. This tradition of leaving one's mark is a human impulse seen across cultures and epochs, evident in places as far-reaching as the pyramids of Giza, where ancient graffiti also tells stories of those who came before us. Exploring further into the architectural wonders of Sigiriya, let's delve into why this location was chosen for such a grand fortress. The natural setting of Sigiriya itself offers some clues. Rising about 200 meters above the plains, the sheer height of this massive rock column provided unparalleled defensive benefits. This elevation was not just daunting for potential invaders to scale, but it also offered inhabitants a broad vantage point, allowing them to see for miles and spot any approaching threats long before they reached the fortress. The rock's steep and rugged sides further shielded the fortress, making direct assaults nearly impossible without advanced siege techniques. Just above the water gardens, the boulder gardens of Sigiriya paint a vivid picture of how natural landscapes were skillfully incorporated into the fortress's design. This area is dotted with large, naturally occurring boulders that have been cleverly integrated into the overall layout. Winding pathways snake around these colossal stones, leading to hidden nooks and strategic lookout points. These boulders weren't just pleasing to the eye. They played a crucial role in the fortress's defense, acting as natural barriers and fortified posts. This strategic use of natural rock formations is somewhat akin to the serene rock gardens of Ryoanji in Kyoto, Japan. Although both gardens feature natural stones, Sigiriya's boulder gardens were primarily designed for defense and control, while Ryoanji's layout aims for contemplation and aesthetic appreciation. Climbing higher, the terraced gardens mark the final stages of the ascent to Sigiriya's summit. Here, a series of staircases and pathways are carved directly into the rock face, not only facilitating access to the top, but also allowing for the cultivation of gardens and the construction of small structures along the way. This method of using terraces can be compared to the ancient Incan city of Machu Picchu, which also features gardens cut into mountainous terrain. As we've ascended through the layered terraces and lush gardens of Sigiriya, it's impossible not to marvel at its defensive capabilities, which are as impressive as its architecture. The entire fortress was safeguarded by a massive moat and towering walls. The approach to the rock itself was ingeniously designed to be narrow, funneling potential attackers into a tight space where they could be more easily repelled. Throughout the fortress, large boulders were strategically placed, ready to be rolled down on invaders, and certain staircases were cleverly designed to be easily removable or destroyed, preventing enemy progression. Drawing an interesting parallel, the construction feats of Sigiriya can be likened to those of the Incas' Machu Picchu in Peru. Both iconic structures were built in demanding locations, yet they demonstrate an extraordinary ability to blend architectural elements with the natural landscape. Machu Picchu, nestled between mountain peaks and featuring agricultural terraces and planned residential areas, echoes Sigiriya's integration of form and function within its environment. The scale of material moved, and the meticulousness of Sigiriya's construction spotlight its stature as a marvel of ancient urban planning and engineering.
The Indus Valley civilization, nobody actually knew that it existed until it was accidentally discovered while a railway was built. Then they found that this culture had had a language, a fully developed written script. It's about 5,000 years old, but there isn't a single Rosetta Stone that enables us to translate that script into any more recent language. If you wish to pass information to a distant future, if you wish it to be preserved, you wouldn't be smart to just write it down.
Welcome to the mysterious and ancient city of Mohenjo-Daro, one of the largest settlements of the Indus Valley civilization and a marvel of prehistoric urban planning buried deep in today's Pakistan.
Since the discovery of the Indus Valley civilization, we have to accept that civilization in India is at least 5,000 years old.
Now, let's unravel the secrets of this place, explore its sophisticated drainage systems, the iconic Great Bath, and decode what secrets might have existed in this magnificent city over 4,000 years ago.
I want to know what else is going to be found that hasn't been investigated yet at all. We're just touching the edge of a huge mystery.
Mohenjo-Daro, situated in the Sindh province of Pakistan, is a key archaeological site from the Indus Valley civilization, also known as the Harappan civilization. Its name, translating to Mound of the Dead in Sindhi, hints at the mysteries buried within this ancient city, offering a unique glimpse into one of the world's earliest urban societies. The site was discovered in 1922 during a broader archaeological survey of the Indian subcontinent conducted by the Archaeological Survey of India. Rakhaldas Bandyopadhyay, known as R.D. Banerjee, stumbled upon what he initially thought was a Buddhist stupa in the Larkana district. Further investigation revealed the ruins of an ancient city, predating any known Buddhist settlements, marked by sophisticated urban features like baked brick structures.
They found that there were these actually very, very sophisticated, very complex mud brick structures on a very large scale.
Major excavations kicked off in 1924 under Sir John Marshall, the then Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India, and his deputy, Ernest Mackay. Their efforts unveiled an advanced city with a well-planned layout, efficient drainage systems, brick houses, granaries, and public baths, all indicating a highly organized society. The excavation methods were quite methodical for the time, involving grid-based trench digging which allowed for a clearer understanding of the city's layout. Marshall also emphasized the use of photography and meticulous on-site notes to document the findings accurately. Among the most remarkable discoveries was the Great Bath, suggesting the site's use for ritualistic or ceremonial purposes, alongside a sophisticated sewage system that highlighted the city's advanced urban planning and sanitation awareness. Post-1947 partition of India, Mohenjo-Daro became part of Pakistan, and new excavation phases were led in the 1950s and 1960s by Pakistani archaeologist Dr. Ahmad Hassan Dani. His work helped uncover lower layers of the city and explore residential areas that had not been previously excavated.
There's a lost civilization which is now accepted by archaeology within relatively recent memory, and that's the Indus Valley civilization.
These later excavations focused more on understanding the daily lives of the inhabitants, with numerous artifacts such as pottery, tools, and ornaments providing insights into their daily activities, trade practices, and cultural aspects. As archaeological techniques evolved, later excavations at Mohenjo-Daro incorporated modern methods including stratigraphic analysis, which aided in more accurately dating the city's layers. There was also a significant emphasis on using refined conservation techniques to preserve delicate artifacts and building materials exposed during the digs. From the 1970s onwards, efforts predominantly shifted towards preserving the integrity of the site, as it faced threats from salinity, waterlogging, and deterioration of materials. In recognition of its value and the need for protection, Mohenjo-Daro was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1980, which helped attract international attention and funding aimed at preserving and protecting this ancient window into early urban life. Continuing from the intriguing discoveries and preservation efforts, the urban layout and architecture of Mohenjo-Daro are indeed remarkable, reflecting a level of sophistication and scale that's astounding for its time period, around 2600 BCE to 1900 BCE. As a critical part of the ancient Indus Valley civilization, this city offers profound insights into the early techniques of urban planning and architecture that have stood the test of time. Mohenjo-Daro spanned at least 1.5 square kilometers, with some estimates suggesting it might have covered over 5 square kilometers at its peak, making it one of the largest cities of its time. The city was meticulously planned with a grid system, dividing it into a lower town and a citadel area. Streets running north-south and east-west sliced the city into well-organized blocks, demonstrating the urban planner's keen grasp of design principles. Residential blocks were designed with precision to ensure uniform appearance from the outside and direct access to street-side drainage, reflecting a controlled approach to urban development and adherence to municipal regulations.
Is knowledge preserved and passed down through the ages? Yes, I think it is.
The city's drainage system was extraordinarily advanced for its era. Each house was connected to a street-side drainage channel through individual drainage pits, a setup that showcases early mastery in sanitary engineering. These drains, constructed from baked brick and gypsum mortar, included manholes at intervals for maintenance, features that would not be out of place in a modern city. The buildings of Mohenjo-Daro were primarily built using sun-dried and fired mud brick. Baked bricks were particularly used for constructing bath and drainage structures to better withstand moisture. The architectural variety within the city was notable, with homes ranging from small single-room dwellings to large multi-storied buildings, indicating a society with socio-economic diversity. A typical house featured a courtyard surrounded by rooms, providing light and air to living spaces, with some houses boasting 2 or even 3 stories. The standardization in brick size, typically measuring 7 by 14 by 28 centimeters, suggests there was a centralized system for the production and distribution of building materials. Most materials for construction were likely sourced locally, given the abundance of clay in the Indus region, ideal for brickmaking. However, special items like the large stones used in some public buildings might have been sourced from further away and transported to the site. When we compare the urban planning and architectural sophistication of Mohenjo-Daro with that of ancient Egypt during the same period, a fascinating picture emerges. While the Egyptians focused more on monumental structures like pyramids, constructed from large stone blocks quarried from distant locations such as Tura and Aswan, the people of Mohenjo-Daro excelled in creating a functional urban landscape that prioritized civic amenities and residential comfort. Building on the sophisticated urban planning and architecture of Mohenjo-Daro, the archaeological site is also renowned for some extraordinary artifacts that shed light on the cultural and technological advancements of the Indus Valley civilization.
We're going to see more physical evidence for this, more as time goes by.
The dancing girl is a captivating bronze figurine, merely 10.5 centimeters tall, capturing a young girl in a dynamic pose with one hand on her hip and the other casually dangling at her side. The level of detail in the figurine is remarkable, showing off intricate jewelry and a detailed hairstyle that points to a highly sophisticated sense of aesthetics and craftsmanship. This small statue is not just a piece of art. It highlights the advanced metalworking skills of the time, being one of the few metal artifacts discovered at Mohenjo-Daro. Another significant find is the so-called priest-king statue, a small steatite sculpture standing about 17.5 centimeters high. It depicts a male figure seated, adorned in an intricately engraved robe and wearing a fillet around his head, which might have once held a feather or other decoration. The sculpture's serene expression and the precision of its beard trimming suggest meticulous grooming and possibly a high social or religious status. Some scholars believe this figure might symbolize an idealized form of leadership or divine authority, integrating both political and religious power, though it may not represent a specific individual. Perhaps the most architecturally impressive discovery at Mohenjo-Daro is the Great Bath. Located centrally on the Citadel Mound, this large pool measures roughly 12 meters by 7 meters and is about 2.4 meters deep. It's constructed from finely fitted bricks sealed with a layer of natural tar, making it waterproof, an advanced construction technique for the time. The Great Bath is believed to have been used for ritual purification rites, reflecting the civic and religious practices of the Indus people. The structure was ingeniously fed by a well, and an adjacent drain allowed for the emptying and cleaning of the bath, indicating a sophisticated management of water resources. Comparing the Great Bath with Roman baths brings interesting insights. Like Mohenjo-Daro's bath, Roman baths were central to social and religious life, going beyond mere hygiene to serve as gathering places for social interaction and ritual practices. However, Roman baths were typically more complex, featuring varied temperatures across different rooms and incorporating technologies like steam baths and underfloor heating, showing different scales and advancements in engineering. An intriguing theory related to Mohenjo-Daro's significance within the Indus Valley civilization is the hydraulic hypothesis, which suggests that the city served as a religious center coordinating the management of an extensive system of irrigation canals. This hypothesis proposes that the city's leadership wielded both political and religious authority, crucial for managing the water resources vital for agriculture in the arid environment.
Look closely at this. This isn't just old, it's impossible. What if it, and 9 others like it, existed before any recorded history? Before the great flood that changed everything? We're not dealing with myths. We're talking about tangible evidence of a lost world. From Eridu, Ziggurat in Iraq to Pumapunku in Bolivia, you won't believe what these stones reveal.
Located in the Germus Mountains of southeastern Anatolia, Turkey, Göbekli Tepe is a site of immense historical significance too. Dating back approximately 11,000 years, it predates Stonehenge by an astonishing 6,000 years. This remarkable site features massive T-shaped pillars adorned with intricate carvings of animals and abstract symbols, suggesting a ritualistic or ceremonial purpose. Göbekli Tepe's construction by hunter-gatherers challenges the traditional view that complex societies only emerged after the development of agriculture. This discovery suggests that social organization and ritual practices may have played a crucial role in the transition to settled life, potentially laying the foundation for the development of agriculture and the rise of civilizations. While often described as the world's first temple, the exact purpose of Göbekli Tepe remains a subject of ongoing research. The enclosures were filled with rocks, soil, and animal bones, leading to various interpretations. While some researchers believe the site was intentionally buried by its builders, recent analysis suggests that natural events like slope slides and erosion might be responsible for the filling of the enclosures. From the old stones of Göbekli Tepe, hinting at a very different past, let's move to another puzzle: the giant sphinx guarding the pyramids of Egypt. The Great Sphinx of Giza, located on the Giza Plateau in Egypt, is one of the most iconic and enigmatic structures in the world. The Giza Plateau, a vast necropolis on the west bank of the Nile River, holds some of the most impressive monuments of ancient Egypt, including the Great Pyramids and the Sphinx. While traditionally dated to around 4,500 years old, some theories suggest the Sphinx could be as old as 7,000 years or older. This debate stems from the observation of water erosion patterns on the Sphinx, suggesting it may have been exposed to heavy rainfall consistent with a much earlier period in Egypt's history. If true, this would challenge conventional timelines and suggest a more complex and ancient history of human civilization than previously thought. Carved from a single mass of limestone, the Sphinx is a colossal statue of a reclining sphinx, a mythical creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human, often associated with royalty and divine power. It likely served as a guardian or protector of the pyramids and nearby tombs, embodying strength and vigilance. Over time, the Sphinx has suffered significant erosion and damage, most notably the loss of its nose. While some attribute this damage to Napoleon's troops, historical accounts and illustrations predating Napoleon's arrival depict the Sphinx without its nose. Other theories suggest that the nose was deliberately destroyed by a Sufi Muslim in the 14th century or damaged during earlier periods. Despite its weathered condition, the Sphinx remains an awe-inspiring monument, and traces of red pigment suggest it may have been originally painted in bright colors, adding to its grandeur and symbolic significance. From the watchful gaze of the Great Sphinx, let's turn to the towering majesty of its neighbor, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Also located on the Giza Plateau, the Great Pyramid of Giza is another marvel of ancient Egyptian architecture. Built around 4,500 years ago as the tomb of the pharaoh Khufu, it is the oldest and largest of the three main pyramids at Giza. This pyramid held the record as the tallest man-made structure in the world for over 3,800 years, a testament to the engineering prowess of the ancient Egyptians. The Great Pyramid is a masterpiece of precision and design. Its sides are aligned with the cardinal directions with remarkable accuracy, suggesting advanced astronomical knowledge and meticulous planning. Inside the pyramid, 3 known chambers have been discovered, including the King's Chamber, which houses a granite sarcophagus intended for Khufu's remains. While the pyramid has been looted in the past, its structure remains remarkably well preserved, though its outer casing of smooth white limestone is mostly gone. The exact construction techniques used to build the Great Pyramid continue to be a subject of debate among scholars, with various theories proposing different methods for lifting and placing the massive stone blocks. The Great Pyramid's precise construction still baffles us, but even those massive stones pale in comparison to the perplexing precision found thousands of miles away at the enigmatic ruins of Pumapunku. Pumapunku, located in western Bolivia as part of the Tiwanaku site, is an ancient complex shrouded in mystery. While generally estimated to be around 1,400 years old, some theories suggest it could be much older, potentially dating back thousands of years. This debate arises from the site's unique features and the challenges they pose to conventional understanding of ancient technologies. Pumapunku is renowned for its massive stone blocks, some weighing over 100 tons, which are precisely cut and interlocked with astonishing accuracy. The stones exhibit intricate designs and perfectly drilled holes, suggesting the use of advanced tools and techniques that seem to be beyond the capabilities of the Tiwanaku civilization. to whom the site is generally attributed. This has led to various theories about Puma Punku's origins, including the possibility of a lost advanced technology, extraterrestrial assistance, or a pre-Ice Age civilization with knowledge that has been lost to time. Despite its ruined state, with many stones scattered and broken, Puma Punku continues to fascinate researchers and challenge our understanding of ancient engineering and construction. Puma Punku's impossibly smooth stones and intricate cuts leave us wondering about the tools and knowledge of its builders, but even those feats of ancient engineering have a predecessor in the towering mud brick structures of Mesopotamia, like the ancient Eridu ziggurat. Eridu, located in modern-day Iraq, is considered one of the oldest cities in Mesopotamia, potentially dating back to the 5th millennium BC. The city is home to a massive ziggurat, a stepped pyramid-like structure that served as a religious and ceremonial center. Ziggurats were prominent features in Mesopotamian cities, believed to be a connection between Earth and the heavens. The Eridu ziggurat, with its ancient origins and monumental scale, provides evidence of advanced architectural and social organization in the pre-flood era. The Eridu ziggurat showed early builders reaching for the sky, a feat later echoed and amplified by Egypt's first monumental stone structure, the Step Pyramid of Djoser. The Step Pyramid of Djoser, located at Saqqara in Egypt, is another remarkable example of ancient architecture. Built during the 27th century BC, it is considered the first monumental stone structure in Egypt. The Step Pyramid was designed by Imhotep, an architect, physician, and high official who is credited with revolutionizing Egyptian tomb construction. This pyramid, with its stepped design and intricate complex of surrounding structures, marks a significant advancement in architectural design and engineering, showcasing the growing capabilities of early civilizations. Djoser's pyramid pointed to the sky, but older stones, like those at Al-Rajil, whisper of even earlier mysteries. The Al-Rajil standing stones, located in the Al-Rajil region of Arabia, are a collection of over 50 groups of standing stones, each consisting of 4 or 5 massive stone columns. These stones, estimated to be at least 6,000 years old, stand as enigmatic monuments with an unknown purpose. Their presence in such a vast and ancient landscape raises questions about the beliefs and practices of the people who erected them, offering a glimpse into the mysteries of pre-flood civilizations. From the enigmatic Al-Rajil stones, let's journey to the sophisticated lost city of Tiwanaku. Tiwanaku, located in the Andes Mountains of Bolivia, was a major cultural and spiritual center in pre-Columbian South America. The city, believed to have flourished between the 4th and 10th centuries AD, features impressive stonework and monumental structures, including the Acapana Pyramid and the Puma Punku complex. Tiwanaku's location near Lake Titicaca, a sacred site in Andean mythology, adds to its significance. The city's ruins provide evidence of advanced social organization, architectural skills, and astronomical knowledge in the pre-flood era. Tiwanaku's ruins impress, but even older secrets lie submerged, like the underwater city of Pavlopetri. Pavlopetri, located off the coast of Laconia in Greece, is one of the oldest submerged cities in the world. Dating back to the early Bronze Age, it provides a unique window into the lives of a coastal community that thrived before the Great Flood. The city's well-preserved remains, including buildings, streets, and tombs, offer valuable insights into the urban planning, architecture, and daily life of a pre-flood civilization. From Pavlopetri's depths to Baalbek's heights, each site reveals a piece of our past, a final note in this exploration of ancient wonder. The Baalbek Temple complex, located in Lebanon, is a monumental Roman temple complex with origins dating back to the early Bronze Age. The complex features colossal stone blocks, some weighing over 800 tons, showcasing the impressive engineering skills of its builders. The Baalbek temples, with their grandeur and intricate carvings, stand as a testament to the architectural and religious practices of ancient civilizations that predate the Great Flood.